Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the fourth and final round of the 2018 Australian Speedway Championships. Your presenter, Aidan Williams, here, alongside three-time world champion Jason Crump. Crumpy, we come out here to the fourth round, bit of a different circuit.
Yeah, another different track and specific Speedway track again, this time at Gillman, and prepared very well and looks pretty well set fair for a great night.
Now, not only that set for a great night, but how about our championship set for one of the best nights we can go into racing, tied on points to the final round?
Well, you can't get any better, can you? We've got our fastest two riders over the series so far, battling it out, even on points coming into the last round, and it's really the best man on the night's going to win.
The best man on the night's always the man to win. However, we take a look out at the circuit there, just over your shoulder, darker, sandier soil here. How do you think it's going to form up?
Look, these guys have all raced in a few Australian championships here. We can see on the sign behind us, it's a 14th year it's been at Gillman Speedway here in Adelaide, and it's a great little speedway venue, and the track won't cause these guys any problems. They've all done laps here, and they all know what to expect from it.
Now, there was a little delay here that we've had at the start of the show. Do you want to just run us through what happened there?
Yeah, young Victorian rider James Davies had a crash in practice, and we were held up for a little while waiting for the correct medical attention. And as it stands now, James is on he's been in hospital now for probably 45 minutes to an hour. The signs are positive, and all of us at NRG TV would like to wish James and his family all the best in his recovery.
Now you are here with the team of NRG TV, but a man that we haven't introduced you yet today, the Ristretto Clooney himself. He's up there, going to get you up to date on the points. How about we throw up now to Mark Brax?
You make me giggle, but yep, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the fourth round here at Gillman Speedway on an absolutely beautiful afternoon or early evening. And as they alluded to, we've got two riders in equal points. So it's back to square one for the Australian Championship. Rowan Tungate, who won the first two rounds in pretty convincing style. He's on 45 points along with Brady Kurtz, who had a magnificent round last week, or a couple of days ago actually, down in Mildura at Olympic Park, when he scored 18 out of a possible 19 points to close that gap. Rowan Tungate didn't have the best of nights. He went into the championship, went into the round at Olympic Park, leading the championship by 8 points. But he only scored 10, and thus is why Kurtz and Tungate are on equal points. Kurtz going for his second championship. In third position, we've got Max Frick on 38 points. Sam Masters, the defending champion, after his atrocious first round, has clawed his way back to fourth in the championship chase on 37 points. Then it's Jack Holder, who won the round last week, or won the final last week on 36 points. Mason Campton, the man from Curry, the big boy from Curry, is seventh on 30 points. He's got 15 points to make up. Josh Pickering on 28, Jordan Stewart on 25, Jamin Lidsey from Mildura on 21, Jai Etheridge from up there in the Hunter Valley also on 21 points. So then we go to Matty Gilmore in 11th position on 16 points, just in front of Cooper Reardon from Mildura on 14 points. Then it's Rob Minson, South Australian lad, on 12. Joel Coyne from up there in Maryborough on 8 points, with the same amount of points for Declan Knowles on 8, and also James Davies, who we alluded to having that incident, who will not be taking part tonight. He's on 4, and his place has been taken by Josh Coyne, all the way from Queensland as well, from Maryborough, but from Gympie, but no relation to Joel Coyne from Maryborough. And Crumpy's made his way back up to the Nerve Centre here in the studio, and just saying it's going to be I just said it's back to square one tonight. It's Crumpy with equal points. Like, there's a couple of guys that have got a chance. You know, there's 9 points down to Jack Holder in 5th position. Mason Campton is probably well outside of it, but mathematically he's still got a chance of winning it. And as we saw on Friday night at Mildura, when Tungate went in with an 8-point lead, now he's had that shrunk rather dramatically when Kurtz went all bar having a perfect score by just 1 point.
Yeah, that's right, Braxy. It's the form guide says Tungate and Kurtz. Max Frick in third place. He's a few points adrift, but talking to Max beforehand, it's easy. You just have to point out to the guys that, you know, Rowan Tungate got 8 in Mildura, so it's not over just yet. But form guide says that it's between Tungate and Kurtz for the win. But for the third position, we've got Jack Holder on 36, Sam Masters 37, and Max Frick 38. So there's still a big scrap on for the bronze medal.
And Jack Holder's been knocking on the door, so this could be his first chance of getting a top 3 position in the Australian Championship. Now, just looking at the track as we see a final track prep going, as the graphic comes up to let people know around Australia, around the world, where we actually are, Gillman being a suburb in the southern part of Adelaide, the capital of South Australia. Now, with the track, it's a dolomite track, I've been told. So what difference does this make compared to the other 3 tracks we've been to? Because not only the surface, but the open nature. It's a very wide circuit that we've got here. And as you've said a couple of times, it looks like it's got 2 straights, but it's actually, you're going that fast and the corners come up that quick that it's almost like a big circle.
It's almost ridden as a big circle, Braxy. It's a very, very fast track. And the surface is a dark sort of material, and it's a funny surface in the fact that you don't need a whole lot of material on this track to get a lot of traction. And you put the material down and put the shape of the track all into the equation, and it makes for a very, very fast circuit, and that's what you have here at Gillman. Fun, actually really fun track to ride as well. Rode here myself, I think 10 or 11 years ago in an Australian Championship, and track was prepared really well and held up all night in top shape.
And looking at it, they've done a marvellous job in the track prep of this track at the moment. I believe 137,000 litres of oil have gone onto the track right up to now, which started yesterday afternoon when we got here on our getting here from Mildura to have a look at it, and they're already hard at work.
Yeah, they've certainly put a lot of effort in and got a lot of water into the surface. We don't have a lot of temperature here in Adelaide this weekend, and it's the big factor that we've had is the sunlight. We can see it's not crazy hot. The sun's shining, but we've got a bit of a wind coming across the circuit, so it's been drying it out pretty quickly.
Speaking of the sunshine and the late afternoon that we are, or early evening, does that have any effect on the rider's vision at particular points? Because we can see the shadows are rather lengthy, and it looks like as they come through turns 3 and 4 that they're running into the sun.
Yeah, normally with the visor on your helmet, Braxy, you can just change the angle a little bit and pretty much get away with it. I'm sure the guys will maybe use a different goggle lens if the sun's going to be an issue. I haven't heard anybody say anything about it yet, so hopefully it's not a problem.
And as we can see on screen at the moment, it's the rider's presentation, which is a great feature of Speedway racing, where all the lads get out there and wave to the crowd and do a couple of laps, as we see the course commentator up there trying to nab one of the riders, but no avail.
No.
He gave him 3 nanoseconds to ask the question, and Tungate went, "No, I'm off again."
Yeah, I don't know what that was all about, but exciting meeting in front of us tonight, Braxy, going for the national championship. The two form riders of the series, Rowan Tungate and Brady Kurtz, actually walking out together there. Good to see. They're both going over to do an interview. There we go. The 2 prize fighters in the ring before the bout starts.
Exactly right, and it's all gloves off, I suppose, back to bare knuckles this time. And also it's, who can handle the pressure and who can exert the pressure.
This is a level of camaraderie between this group of riders at the moment. Brady Kurtz, I think, put a tweet up earlier today to Rowan Tungate saying, may the best man win, or the tallest man. So
yeah, and he towers over Rowan Tungate.
I'll tell you another interesting point, Braxy, that we haven't even touched on just yet. Rowan Tungate is the only rider in Speedway Grand Prix history with a 100% record. Yeah. 2 rides at Etihad Stadium in Melbourne at the Speedway Grand Prix for 2 wins. He was the second reserve that night, Rowan. Brady Kurtz was the first reserve. He won his first ride. He was out in Heat 1 as a replacement for somebody. He won that race. Rowan went out a few heats later and got a start and won that. And then Brady got another call up for another race, and he hit the tapes in that. Oh. Rowan Tungate came in and won that as well. So it's not really a surprise to see these 2 guys dominating the Australian Championship of 2018.
Yeah, well, and didn't Kurtz touch the tapes in Curry as well?
No, I don't think he's touched the tapes, no.
Okay, he's had a couple of exclusions, but other than that, he's been in fine form. Won a lot of the heat races, but unfortunately, when we were at Shepparton.
Well, Rowan Tungate's won a couple of the money races.
Yep, exactly. That's where it all comes down to.
And got himself out of a hole in Mildura by making it to the money race. And and that's a sign of somebody who, a sign of a a rider who's got commitment to the championship. He was having a tough old night at Olympic Park and had to dig deep in the B final, in the B main, to get a start in the big race. And you know, his class and experience showed off in that and got him in there.
Well, is this the night for him? He's had 6 entries into the championship since his debut in the Aussie Championship in 2012, and he's got a trio of 4th places. That's the closest he's got.
It's actually a bit of a surprise that, you know, to have a rider of Rowan's calibre not being in the top 3 in the Australian Championships just yet. You know, with the number of starts he's had in it. But hey, he probably doesn't care if he hasn't been in the top 3. He's going for the win tonight, and there's no better place to stand in the top 3 than on the top step. Yeah, and he's been on the form. Both of these guys have been on form. A little bit of bad luck. I've got another stat on Rowan Tungate, actually. He rides in a few meetings in Aussie Rowan, rides in a few New South Wales state titles and a few meetings around the country. Olympic Park, Mildura on Friday night was the first meeting he's lost in Australia this summer season. So going on from Melbourne Grand Prix, which was the first meeting of the season, if you like it, the guys just fly directly in from Europe to compete in that. So that was the first meeting he rode in the summer. He obviously didn't win that, but he only had 2 starts for 2 wins. Every other meeting this year, he's taken the checkered flag in the final or been the top point scorer.
Well, he's on form at the moment. As you said, Crumpy, he's won 2 of the rounds outright, winning the final as well.
Brady Kurtz took a different route, Braxy. He rode in the Grand Prix, and I don't think he's ridden maybe the odd meeting.
Now, going back, getting today with the practice that we saw, what did you see of our 2 main contenders for the championship in Tungate and Kurtz? How did you see that unfold?
Kurtz was, as you would expect, on form. Rowan's foxed us a couple of times in practice so far this year. He went out today with a different intent to his practice. He went out and he was on the throttle from the very first lap, and he looked like he means business as well. So between the top 2, absolutely not a whole lot between it.
And Jack Holder looked pretty smooth too in his practice sessions as well.
Jack Holder looked smooth. Max Frick looked smooth. Sam Masters was getting around okay. Unfortunately for Sam, did a manful job to avoid the major incident that happened in front of him in practice, and hopefully he'll be fit and set fair to go tonight.
Well, I'm sure you've been in similar situations before, Crumpy, but once the adrenaline starts to flow and the race night starts to get underway, all that's put behind them as they come out for their first heat here for the final round. And he starts from the red gate.
We'll be able to see Sam's intent from the word go because he's up in race 1.
Yeah, Sam Masters will be in red. Josh Coyne, the 31-year-old from Gympie, he's taken James Davies' spot in this race, and the rest of the rounds tonight, he'll be in blue. Rob Medson. Rob Medson is in white, and Cooper Reardon is in yellow. Kev, I think they've got the old sheet that I tore up today. So just repeating, as they come up to the tapes for the first time, there on the right-hand side is Masters. Next to him is Coyne, Medson, Cooper, Reardon, and they take off. Who gets and Masters lets them know from the very start, but through on the white, that comes Medson. Good ride from him.
But Masters' foot's no good. Robert Medson out in front from Josh Coyne and Cooper Reardon inside of Josh Coyne there, but we could clearly see Sam Masters gated there.
But it didn't last too long, did it?
His foot's no good. Here comes Cooper Reardon up the inside. The 2 riders in yellow, Cooper Reardon and Robert Medson, racing shoulder to shoulder here. Looks like Reardon's got up the inside. Great effort from him.
And Josh Coyne there in 3rd position.
Promising start from Robert Medson, the best we've seen of him so far. good to see one of the young fellas getting out in front.
And this will maybe, if he hangs on to it, should be his first win.
Cooper Reardon's had a couple of wins already in this series, Braxy.
Yep.
He's overtaken, but there he goes across the line to take the checkered flag.
So out of that one, Masters a retiree in that one, unfortunately. So Reardon takes the points.
I think we'll find that Sam Masters might pull the pin on this now, Braxy.
Well, he's got. I don't want to take anything away from
he's
this.
He's not even off the bike. He's getting pushed back into the pit. So I'm pretty sure that we'll see Sam Masters as a scratching from now on.
That's unfortunate for him. But yeah, he was involved in an incident, and he's got to get ready to head off to England in early March as he prepares for his league year over in England and Europe. So now we've got one of our main championship contenders coming out for his first heat in this second leg. Brady Kurtz will be from red, Jai Etheridge in blue, Joel Coyne in white, and Josh Pickering in the yellow gate.
Yeah, just to go back to Sam Masters, Braxy, I'd just like to clarify the situation a little bit. Young James Davies took a nasty tumble by himself in the practice session just in front of Sam Masters, and Sam did a terrific job of laying the bike over. Missed the man, but jammed his foot between his machine and the stricken machine on the track. So that's where Sam's picked up his ankle injury, which is unfortunate. And we could clearly see there, as soon as he got into turn one and he had to wait the right footrest of the bike, he was in all sorts of trouble.
Very unfortunate for him, as he was sitting in. Well, he recovered from that atrocious round that he had at Curry, where he only scored about 7 points and managed to claw his way back to have 37 points as he came into this meeting. But he's a champion.
Into the final in the other two rounds as well. So here we go, riders are lining up.
So there's Brady Kurtz on bib number 5. Next to him, Etheridge in bib number 7. Joel Coyne in bib number 6. Pickering on the outside in the yellow. Tapes up, away they go. Who gets the start? You'd expect to be Kurtz, which it is. Powers through into the lead.
Ooh, he's gone a bit wide there. Jai Etheridge up the inside.
But he closes the door on him, so Etheridge has got to fight back, but it's Kurtz at the moment.
He's picked up a bit and he's drifted offline. Jai Etheridge, this is a super ride from Jai in second.
And he's just still putting pressure on Kurtz at the moment.
Josh Pickering in third place.
Kurtz won his 5 heat races on Friday night and finished second in the main. But at the moment he looks like he's on song to claim another win. He's won a multitude of races so far in the 3 rounds. He's won 14 races.
This is just the sort of start Brady's looking for the night tonight. He's worked the track out now. It was a little bit slicker than he thought out wide, and had to pull his line back onto the inside a little bit, but that's it's a great way for him to start the night, Braxy.
Yeah, what you need to doubt it, and he's let everybody know, including his main rival, that he really means business. Etheridge was second, and then Joel Coyne third, and rounding out the field then Josh Pickering.
No, I think that was the other way around.
Other way around?
Sorry. Josh Pickering in third and Joel Coyne at the rear.
And I saw you talking to Joel Coyne fairly intently today about an ignition problem or a sparking problem by the look of it.
Yeah, definitely been struggling a bit with his bike, that's for sure. He had to have an ignition replaced after the Curry round. They thought it was a problem, but maybe it was the way he had it mounted on his bike. I made a suggestion to his father beforehand, and certainly didn't have any misfiring in practice. He's just a young guy actually trying to find his feet in Speedway, Braxy, you know, and just
it's his first championship.
It's absolutely his first championship, and I think if you remember rightly, I said before we started that there was different riders in this for different reasons, and he's one of the boys that is certainly just trying to garner some experience from it.
Now in heat number 3, we've got another debutant in the series, 17-year-old Matthew Gilmore in red. Then it's Noel Stewart and Frick on the outside as they take off. What can Frick do?
Oh,
he gets shuffled up back to third position.
He's missed it. Geordie Stewart in the white.
Oh.
Looking really fast. Matthew Gilmore up the inside, but here comes Max Frick. He's out on the outside. He's gone a bit wider than what Brady Kurtz went, and he's finding some drive. Here comes Max Frick on the outside.
He's got him.
No, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't.
Geordie Stewart's moved over as well. Good riding by Jordan Stewart. He's right on the edge of the dirt. Max Frick can't find a way past him at the moment.
Stewart scored 9 points last start at Mildura, but he looks like he's hanging on to this one at the moment.
Frick's having a good go, but Geordie Stewart's riding a great line.
Oh, look at the attitude of Frick in second position. Here
Yeah.
comes the last lap. Flag comes out.
He's trying all the tricks in the book, Braxy, but he's just not close enough. Geordie Stewart's on the exactly the right part of the track. Great start from Jordan and a great 4 laps. He's been put under heaps of pressure and hasn't made a mistake. Good ride, Jordan Stewart.
So, Frick in second position. And then was that Matty Gilmore in third?
Gilmore in third, Braxy, yeah.
And Knowles in
Declan
fourth.
Knowles fourth. Matthew Gilmore actually showed there off the start, didn't he?
Very much so. And he's
Made a
had
good
a
start.
couple of good,
Yeah.
he's gated pretty well in recent times, and he's had a couple of wins too. Let them know that this 17-year-old from Cowra does mean business when he gets out on track. Reputation's another one that don't worry him.
Yeah, this is going to be another good race, race 4.
Yeah, race 4, we've got Jamin Lidsey, Rowan Tungate, Mason Campton and Jack Holder. That's going to be an absolute ripper, I reckon. Jamin Lidsey, the young Mildura guy from the red. Rowan Tungate, our equal championship leader in blue. Mason Campton, a fellow man from up there in Curry and the Hunter Valley in white. And Jack Holder from Cowra, in Appin in yellow.
Words just come through that Braden McGuinness will replace Sam Masters for the rest of the night, Braxy.
Okay. Unfortunate for Sam, but a good opportunity for McGuinness to get up there, another young kid as well.
Well, Brady Kurtz has fired the first shot from the gun. Rowan Tungate's got to come out in this race and match him.
And you'd think the way he's been riding that he will answer with a...
Tough old race here. Jack Holder, winner of the last round, Braxy.
Yep, and he would, like we said, he looked pretty smooth, and
all of a sudden he's got a bit of a... Rowan's made a flyer there. Oh, what a start from Tungate.
Gone.
That's the cleanest start we've seen. And Jack Holder at the back, that's a surprise. Mason Campton in second place, but he's gone a little bit wide there, has he? No, he's on the dirt. Jamin Lidsey and Jack Holder bringing up the rear.
Yeah, Holder got shuffled out from the first turn there as Rowan Tungate went straight into the lead.
How fast Tungate look?
You're going very wide there too, getting some good drive into turn number 1 and then out again.
Here comes Jack Holder. He's back down to the inside now, trying to get something out of this race. He does not want a 0 point from his first run. But Mason Campton's got a bit of a gap. It looks like Jack's up the inside of Jamin Lidsey there.
Yeah, he's got him so far, but is Lidsey coming back at him as well? But look at the lead.
No, Lidsey's way wide there, and Jack Holder's through into third place. And
so Tungate takes the win. Campton in second.
Be interesting to have a look at the MyLaps, Braxy, and see what the race times were between Kurtz and Tungate. Be interesting to see because Rowan looked extremely fast there, and the start. How was the start? Absolutely picture
Nailed
perfect.
it, didn't he?
One thing that's looking a little bit obvious at the moment, right now, as we sit here, is the 4-gate doesn't look like it's producing very much at the moment. Cooper Reardon won the first race from yellow, but he certainly didn't get to the corner first.
Well, that's our first round done and dusted. Yeah, and these are a look
Here's from the
practice.
We're on board with Brady Kurtz today. I was relieved of my track duties today, Braxy. I'm not fast enough, so we've got a camera on Brady Kurtz to see him roaring around in practice, and we've also got a camera on Rowan Tungate. Caused Rowan a bit of a problem actually. He lost his cutout through there. But
Great, that's a great angle there, right on the chest of the rider.
Brady's down a bit lower. Unfortunately, we can't kind of see over the handlebars exactly where he's going, but
it's
you
good
can see the
dynamics.
vibration and the movement of the handlebars. The input the rider's giving to the handlebars through the corner.
So great action there on the NRG TV screen, and also gives a good look at his leg as he got up to 1.4 Gs through the corner. Up, hit 2 Gs in the corner then.
Yeah, not a big surprise.
As we move on to the sidecar boys, and they haven't lined up the wrong way. They go in a clockwise direction, and in red we've got Byron Gates and Michael O'Loughlin. Then next to him we've got Damien Nish and Mitchell Spear. Then Trent Headland and Daniel Whetstone, and then Mark Mitchell and Dale Knights. And from the blue gate, it's Nishki and Spear that get the jump at the moment, but not for long. They're getting shuffled onto the outside as Headland and Whetstone. They move
drive
in.
Through. Well, he's pulled around him. He's pulled back around him on the outside. This will actually do the solo boys some favours the way the track is here tonight, Braxy. Moving, peeling a bit more dirt off and pushing a bit more dirt to the outside.
Geez, I tell you what, they're pushing some dirt more to the outside. It's going all over the outside the fences
Bit
as
of dust
well.
there.
Yeah.
Bit of dust being kicked up by these powerful sidecar bikes.
And for those
Look at him,
that
he's on the boards there.
And what size engines do these boys run in these sidecars?
I think they're thousands.
Yeah, they sound like they're big ball machines.
Four-cylinder Yamahas, I think they use Braxy. R1 engines, aren't they?
Yeah, either that or the ever popular GSX R1000 engine that is a popular choice in sidecar racing. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was the Suzuki or Yamaha. Suzuki's a pretty strong one in the road racing, I know, and with the sound of that, I thought they might be just as popular in the sidecars.
I think most of the guys are on the Yamahas.
Yamahas? Well, mate,
was that an R1 or what's the old one, FZR? Or?
YZF R1, yeah, and the old one's the FZR 1000.
I think
that was the one before the
R1
R1
might
came
even be
out.
the more popular one.
So that's our sidecar race number 1 out of the way. I reckon there'll be another track prep before we move into round number 2, and just on cue the tractor comes out with the Wonder Wheel attached.
Well, we certainly need a bit of water down, don't we?
Yeah, I think we need a bit of water
the
in here too.
sidecar's kicked up the dust.
But looks like a good crowd started to get in here tonight on a beautiful afternoon in Adelaide. Hasn't been the typical warm summer weather that you'd expect, with the breeze blowing yesterday and early on today that put a bit of the chill in the bones.
Yeah, it was a bit fresh this morning, Braxy, wasn't it, when we woke up?
And
Not what we were expecting. We had our jumpers on at breakfast.
Yeah, and fresh on the way down yesterday too, with a bit of rain coming down as well. But it has been a marvellous week on the road. Starting at Curry last Saturday, when it was, it could have been the Sahara Desert. It was a bit cooler during that weekend up there. And then we moved on to Shepparton at the Undera track on Wednesday evening. And then down to Mildura at that magnificent establishment down there at Olympic Park. And now to Gillman on an equally impressive venue here in Adelaide. Been around for, as you said in the intro, mate, this is the 14th time it's hosted the Australian Speedway Championships, Solo Championships, and has often run World Championship sidecar events as well in World Cup status. So the tractor's still out there. And just, Jack Holder didn't get much break from that one. Straight out in the next heat. And Masters won't be in it. It was McGuinness that will be having a dip in that one. Been drafted onto the evening, so he's got a good opportunity to gain some experience. He comes from McLaren Flat in South Australia, all of 17 years old. And it's his first appearance, joining the other guys that have made their first appearance. James Davies, Joel Coyne, Jai Etheridge, Matthew Gilmore and Declan Knowles, 5 of the 16 riders that have made their debut in the Australian Championships for 2017. And look at that, plenty of people relaxing on the hill. There's a couple of good vantage points. I don't think that's where the main crowd is. There's where the main guys are on this. Well, it's a terrace setup. There's about 6 tiers there, so you can sit there and watch all the action as they come exiting turn 2, and then down the back straight. So just checking that out. Our winners so far, we've had Cooper Reardon winning the first leg. Then it was Brady Kurtz winning his. Then it was Jordan Stewart winning his first leg from the white gate. And then in the last leg, it was Rowan Tungate from blue that won it. So we've had one of...
Bit of sidecar action from the previous round.
Oh, there was actual,
bit
there
of
was
a spin
plenty
out.
of action there last
Down they go.
Friday night. The lads there and having a chat to them after the event. They had it almost not perpendicular to the actual inside, but most of the evening when they come through the that part of the track. But it was good to see that they all riders were okay. And here's some action from also from Olympic Park in Mildura on Friday night, where it was that was a bit of rain had a bit of an effect on the proceedings. Certainly didn't detract from the action, that's for sure.
No, that was a close call there. I think Declan Knowles was a rider who got into trouble, and young James Davies behind him had to bail out. But you can see the difference between the two tracks, can't you? Looking at the replays from the other night. Olympic Park's a wide track, but here at Gillman, I think it's even wider. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to step that out or get a tape measure on it to see what it is. But even there, you can see that it is a pretty wide track at Mildura as well.
Tight old first turn there. Joel Coyne in the 3rd position. Lidsey and Campton touch, and Coyne bails out. He thought better of trying to get in the mix with those two just there, didn't he? And here, Geordie Stewart's near loop from the start. This was a pretty exciting race, wasn't it? Matty Gilmore took the win. But Jordan's, he was so lucky to get away with that one.
Yeah, well, it just shows you the fine line that these guys are working on. Getting right onto the side of the tyre to help give them drive out. There's a bit of as you said on the night, there's a few ruts started to appear.
Yeah.
Because of the different lines they were taking. Some of them were using the ruts to their advantage, and others were just bouncing all the way across them, weren't they? That's one of the examples of hitting one of the ruts.
Cooper Reardon in 2nd place, Geordie Stewart going past Cooper. And Matthew Gilmore at this stage looked set, didn't he, for a victory. And he did everything right. He had the checkered flag in sight, then whooshka. Just out of nowhere it came. I was talking to his dad just before, and, he was, Matty said he was basically celebrating the victory under his helmet. And then all of a sudden, here we go, wow.
Great face plant, too. A big mouthful of dirt for his trouble.
I don't even think he tipped the fence, though, through all of that, did he?
No. Which was great of him. He bailed out, exit stage left.
Yeah.
So the track prep should be... I like STE Earth Moving. I think it is Stumpy and Grumpy, one of the sponsors over here. That's, well, I wonder who you ring up and I wonder who you get when you answer the phone. And also to keep up on track with it, if you're part of My Laps, you can also get the live timing.
Have you found it yet, Braxy?
No, I've been trying for the last half an hour to get it, and going to the live timing.
This should be right up your alley, Braxy. You're the road racing man.
Yeah, but I don't. There's another one that we use in road racing predominantly. Okay. But there's a bit of that wind starting to come up again. Jace, I can see that the kids with their sleeping bags, a la tents, are starting to get turning into a bit of a kite at the moment.
I'm not going to be surprised if it's pretty chilly here a bit later on.
Now we're back in action for heat number 6.
Race
and
number
lining
5.
up
Heat number 5.
Heat number 5. Oh, yeah, but it's a race number, because we've had the sidecars.
Event 6, race 5.
Jack Holder in red. McGuinness taking the place of Sam Masters in blue, and he's just put his hand up there, Crumpy.
Yeah, he's just trying to see the green light, Braxy. This is his first race, so he wants to see where the green light's situated.
Brady Kurtz in white, so this is a pretty good setup. And Jordan Stewart, after his good start to the evening with a win, he'll have the confidence well and truly up for this one.
Yeah.
As he's in the yellow gate, just out of shot at the moment on NRG TV here. And remember your hashtag if you want to get into the Twitter sphere and come with a bit of interaction with us. Hashtag Speedway 2018 Speedway Oz AUS.
We're getting ready for a start.
And does Holder get a better start than he did? Yes, he does. Gets the gate.
Kurtz is down.
Damn, that'll be upsetting for him. Now, I want your analysis on that, because it looked like to me that there might have been just a slight touch, or did he just get pushed wide?
Well,
this will be a red flag coming out.
Yeah,
then.
there's a red flag coming out for sure. But I'm pretty sure there was. Yeah, referee Gavin Wilson's going to have to step in and make a decision here with championship implications, Braxy.
Exactly, and this is one time difficult. You don't want to be a referee when you've got to make these decisions that could affect someone's championship.
He's got half a tricky decision to make here as well. First and foremost, Brady Kurtz is up and about, so he's okay.
It was a gentle laydown, really, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, gentle. Here we go with the replay. Kurtz has made a good start. Jack Holder's just there on the inside. Oh, yeah, a bit of slight touch there. Not a whole lot in it. First bend incident.
He did go into that beautiful air fence with a bit of speed on him.
Yeah.
We'll have another look at it, and you can see if you can.
I think it's just a case of two riders going for the same spot. You can see Jack Holder's made a good start from the inside. He's there. Kurtz is trying to come across.
I
think there was a slight touch, but Jack's entitled to move. Jack Holder's got to move off his line a little bit.
And you can see Holder looking at Kurtz there to see where he exactly is at that time, can't you?
I didn't catch that, Braxy. You're the eagle eye.
Well, that's what I saw. He just actually had a quick glance across his, well, not even across his shoulder, but he saw where Kurtz was, and I think he was trying to steer it out of the way, but just a bit too close for comfort, and unfortunately Kurtz was the one that tasted the dirt at the time. So, as Crumpy said, we've got the referee's got to make a pretty critical decision here, and I'm sure that one party won't agree with his decision, whichever way it goes.
Oh, I don't think Jack Holder's got anything to worry about, does he? He's just, he's ridden around off the start and around the first corner, going where he wants to go. Brady Kurtz is, they just need to check the bike over and make sure everything's firing if he's back in the restart. It's a decision when you look at it like that, Braxy, that can go either way. And if Brady Kurtz is out, I wouldn't actually be surprised, to be honest with you. There possibly not enough contact there, in my opinion, for him to get back in the restart.
Well, just seeing where he is, we can't see the white lid.
No, he'll have the bike back up in the pits. It'll definitely have a clutch full of dirt, no doubt about that.
So
interesting. I don't even know if the ref's made a decision yet.
Well, one of the commentators down there course commentators trying to get a bit of words of wisdom. So Crumpy just disappears out of the studio to try and get some information. He's having a look down there on track at the moment. There's Holder in the red cap. Comes in to get back on his bike. But it's a very difficult decision when you've got a championship at stake. Both Tungate and Kurtz are on equal points as they come into this championship. Decider here at Gillman for 2018. So just trying to get some word from outside the box at the moment.
I don't think Kurtz is excluded.
Just put down to a racing incident. Well, tell us what the decision explain that to the viewers, what that decision means. Where sometimes we see a guy excluded from the restart, and then for bringing out the red flag, and other times for being allowed to restart. What's the process that normally occurs? I know it's a how long's a piece of string sort of decision, but
the referee will make a decision, Braxy, on what he sees and what he thinks is the cause of the incident. Whether he's going to say there was enough contact between Holder. Well, Kurtz is definitely in. There he is, lining up in grid 3. Whether the referee justifies enough of a touch between the two riders for one to go down, or whether there's another, you know.
Yeah.
Each circumstance is different, but I think Brady Kurtz can say that's probably his bit of luck for the night.
Well, it's good to see that we've got all 4 contenders out here to have a bit of a battle. And Jack Holder in red, as you see, he's on the far side, on the right-hand side of the screen. Then we've got young McGuinness there, the 17-year-old from South Australia, in blue. Brady Kurtz in white. Jordan Stewart there, off and racing, who gets at almost a repeat carbon copy from the first one. But Kurtz around the outside, what a move.
And Jordan Stewart up the inside of Jack Holder as well. Jack Holder caught in the middle of no man's land there, but he's back onto the outside now, trying to get some speed. But great recovery from Brady Kurtz. He went straight to the outside that time in almost a carbon copy of the start, Braxy.
Yeah, looked at, he swept straight across from his white gate.
He didn't actually try and sweep across more.
So
Jack Holder was trying to sweep up that time. He knew where Brady Kurtz's attack was going to come from, and he was right, and he made himself vulnerable by chasing the rider out there.
Instead of thinking of his own.
But Brady Kurtz is on the pace again now and starting to move away from Jack Holder.
So that'll be 2 wins on the trot for him in the heat so far, and a pretty convincing win at that too, Crumpy.
Yeah, absolutely. Jack Holder was on the throttle at Olympic Park on Friday night, and again, you can see the intent there from Brady Kurtz. He's here to win for sure, and give Rowan Tungate as much pressure by piling the points up as he possibly can. I think, you know, Rowan's out in the next race, so he's going to go out in that and feel that he has to, you know, try and get the win to keep himself in the championship hunt. But just to the viewers out there, all the graphics for the race starting order, the draw was handed to NRG TV for all 4 rounds, and the draw for round 4 in Gillman was changed somewhere along the line. So there's actually 2 sets of draws, and we've got the wrong graphics.
Well, I went to actually get another copy of the draw I had today, and that's where it came to me. They said, no, you've got the wrong draw.
Yeah, so
the officials gave us this one, plus they said, no, confirm it. Lyle from one of the officials there said, no, Braxy, you've been given the wrong one.
Yeah, so a bit of a mix-up there. So to the viewers, we apologise for the inconvenience of not having the riders line up. You'll just have to listen to Braxy tell it to you each time.
So in this one, for heat number 6 of our round 2, we've got Tungate in red. There he is on the far side of your screens as you're sitting at home around the world. Matty Gilmore, Happy Gilmore, the young 17-year-old, was, well, he's a real surprise packet this was. Probably not a surprise packet for you, Crumpy, but...
no, he's a goer, Matty Gilmore. I actually think, Braxy, that we've got a bit of a sun issue starting to happen into turn 1. I think that...
that's what I was asking you before with those shadows lengthening. If it
I think they've just asked a few of the riders. So we've got Tungate red from 1, Gilmore blue from 2.
Then we've got Josh Coyne. And then Joel Coyne in yellow. No relation, ladies and gentlemen, and a big difference in ages.
I think just there we saw the starters ask the riders if they were happy to continue, Braxy.
Tapes are up and they're away again.
And
now from the inside it is Tungate gets a good drive. Running it very wide, Joel Coyne. They drop back to 4th position. But Tungate there in 1st position with Gilmore there in 2nd.
And Josh Coyne 3rd and Joel Coyne 4th. Rowan's out on the wide line now.
Just so that might have been just a bit of paper that was on track there.
Yeah. Rowan means business as well, but no disrespect to the riders in this race. A race that Rowan would have looked at and thought, you know, I've got to put 3 points in the bank account with that one, that's for sure.
And he has done it in pretty decimating circumstances as the last lap flag comes out.
I just saw Rowan actually then. You could see him dip his head, so the visor on his helmet was blocking the sun out as he went in. Good race at the back here between Joel Coyne and Josh Coyne, and it looks like Joel may just sneak up the inside of Josh there.
Yes, he does.
He did. Yeah.
So Tungate, as Kurtz has done, 2 wins. Gillman in second, Joel Coyne in third, and the replacement rider for James Davies, Josh Coyne, in 4th position. So we're coming up to heat number 7, which should be not a bad race, actually. We've got another one of the two debutants of this series in this one, with Declan Knowles and Jai Etheridge. And Declan Knowles in red, Jamin Lidsey from Mildura in blue, Jai Etheridge from up there on the Undervalley in white, and Rob Medson in yellow. And you can see how long those shadows are now, Crumpy, as they come round on the start.
Yeah, it's the sun's in a tricky spot for the riders on their entry into turn 1, that's for sure. But we saw the starters actually talking to the riders before that last heat, Braxy, to see what they thought. Rowan Tungate was adamant that there was no problem with it. Let's just get on with the racing.
Well, and that's the thing. You're prepared for yourself for that, and you just want to go out there and get it over and done with and move on to the next round, don't you?
Well, that's it. And they're prepared and they're ready to go. And as much as some of the guys possibly, aren't happy.
Well, as you've said a couple of times during this telecast, it's the same for everybody.
Yeah.
So this is race number 3, round number 2, heat number 7. As we said, Knowles, Lidsey, Etheridge, Medson inside or outside, and it is Etheridge that gets good start. Bib number 7, restart there. Wondering if there was a touch of the tapes.
Red flags are being thrown there.
It was a quick decision by the referee.
This is a home track for Robert Medson, the rider in yellow. He actually showed in race 1, he got a 2nd place, which was one of his, that was a good ride from Robert Medson. We haven't seen a lot of him in the championship so far, Braxy, but here we are back over to his home track, and let's see if some of the experience he's gained in the previous 3 rounds are going to help him in this one, and be good for any of these young guys, the experience. Oh, Jai Etheridge jumped the start. We see the replay there. Didn't hit the tape, but they're getting set for a restart right now.
Away they go again. Who gets the jump at the moment? And from blue, it looks like it's Lidsey that's got the lead just at the moment. Jai Etheridge around the outside, and Lidsey lifts the wheel there as well. That wouldn't have helped his drive whatsoever.
Not at all. In fact, it cost him a bit of ground, but he's trying to put his nose up on the inside of Jai Etheridge in the lead, and Robert Medson in 3rd place. I thought he might have shown a bit more in this heat.
Lidsey trying around the outside, a different line to go the high side and cut it back in tight, but Etheridge running a good line there at the moment.
I think young Declan Knowles just lost a chain there, Braxy. I think I heard, yeah, he's pulled over, he's lost a chain. And here comes Jamin Lidsey around the outside of Jai Etheridge.
Great ride, going very high there.
Jai Etheridge, yeah, that's a bit of a mistake by Jai, I feel. He used the outside on the first lap, and he was just getting a bit tighter and a bit tighter every lap, and opened the outside line for Jamin Lidsey, and he took full advantage of it.
And is that a way of actually trying to defend your line as well, and then making sure that he comes round uses the long way round, which Lidsey did to perfection then? And caught him by a little bit by surprise?
Well, I'm not really sure. I think it possibly just a little bit of inexperience from Jai Etheridge there. I mean, he's raced in the UK, and you have to, if you use a line to your advantage to get past somebody on 1 lap, then it's probably still going to be the place to be, for the remainder of the race. But he decided for some reason to change where he was. We're getting through the heats at a rapid rate tonight again.
Yeah, we're coming up to the final race of final heat of the 2nd round. And we'll get a bit of an update on the points there. So in this one, heat number 8, we've got Cooper Reardon, who won his first heat in red. Then we've got Josh Pickering in blue, Max Frick in white, and Mason Campton in yellow. Mason Campton was 2nd in his heat. Max Frick, I don't think he really got the... He came 2nd in his first race.
It was a great ride by Geordie Stewart in that race to keep Frick behind him.
So at the moment, Cooper Reardon, as we said, he won his first heat from the yellow gate. He's in red this time. Josh Pickering, blue, Max Frick, Mason Campton in yellow. And Mason Campton, he makes these bikes look small actually. He's a big lad. As they jump the start, well not jump the start, they jump off the line. And from blue, it is Pickering that gets but
straight
up the
out.
inside is Reardon.
Cooper Ridden, but they're going to go either side of him. Max Frick up the inside, and Josh Pickering around the outside, and Picco's having a go at Frick here. I think almost Frick's smart enough to move out, but Picco's turned back up the inside of him off turn 2. And Max is going to have to head straight for the dirt again, and he's just got enough. Oh, Picco picked up there on the inside.
What an entertaining race that one.
Great opening couple of laps there between Max Frick and Josh Pickering, but Max is out. You can see Frick's line there, right on the edge of the dirt. The dirt's moved a long, long way out now, and Max Frick's right out on the outside of it and pulling away from Josh Pickering in second. And
that's definitive, just to see the difference of second and third, how much tighter they were than what Frick was as he's getting the line to take the checkered flag and take a win. So he gets into the winner's circle for the first time this evening. Pickering in second. And great to see and I think it was Cooper Reardon in third and Mason Campton not getting the best of races, although we have to look at that one again. But no doubt in the world that it was Max Frick in the white lid that got. And so that brings us to a close of round number 2. We've got 3 rounds to go before we get into the B final. And then the winner of that goes and joins the top 3 point scorers in the A final. And there where we crown the winner of the round and the winner of the 2018 Australian Speedway Championship. Who will it be this time? So the sidecars are out again for their second heat, over 4 laps. So in red we've got Headland and Whetstone. Beside them in blue we've got Buchanan and Danny Cox. We've got 5 5 outfits tonight, so they all do a bit of a swap around. Mark Mitchell and Dale Knights, and then Brian Gates and Michael O'Loughlin in yellow. And as we've come to expect from the sidecars, they put on the action thick and fast as on their 1000cc machines, and which will put some different rutting in it. And the sidecar passenger, one of the bravest men in motorsport, or bravest people in motorsport. So the passenger helping to come up to see where the front of the outfit can get right on the white line, often obscured from view by the fairings and where the rider is sitting. Passenger gets on behind him in the traditional road bike pillion position to get some good drive off the start, but I'm sure you'll see them change that as they get into turn 1 and they're away in their second leg. And it is off blue. It's Buchanan that gets the jump at the moment. Passengers hanging right off the side, grabbing the handrail on the right-hand side of the motorcycle, but trying up the inside. It's Headland and Whetstone. Not quite, up the inside, trying to line around from the yellow gate. It is Gates and O'Loughlin. Don't quite get in a second position. But our leader at the moment, Buchanan and Cox in blue. And then certainly not showing the aggressive nature is what we saw in Mildura, where they were getting 90 degrees perpendicular to the apex of the corners here, at Olympic Park at Mildura. Slightly different. They actually seem to be driving a bit further. But as Buchanan gets away, the battle for second is pretty hot at the moment. In the moment, Headland and Whetstone leading away just in second position, but they've actually pulled out a little bit of a gap. So in that, it's the blue that takes the win from the red, and yellow in third position, with Mitchell and Knights rounding out 4th position. Now we'll have a bit of a track prep again as the shadows have almost disappeared now as the sun disappears into the west So there won't be too much of the track bathed in sunshine at the moment. So all the it shouldn't be affecting the riders too much when the solos come out. As you can see, the tractor with the Wonder Wheel comes out. That manages to stir it up a bit as the tanker comes out to give it a quick spray as well. And just going through the leaderboard at the moment, after round 2, we can see that Kurtz and Tungate have both had 2 wins apiece. They're the only 2 so far that have managed to maintain their line at the moment. So Max Frick has got a 2nd and a 3rd. I mean a 2nd and a 1st, 3 points for the 1st in winning that one. In that final heat from Josh Pickering in the blue. And then it was Cooper Reardon in the red gate, got the solitary point for 3rd position, and failing to score was Mason Campton, which is unlike Mason, the big boy from up there in Curry. So we've got it's neck and neck at the moment. Kurtz and Tungate both on equal points again, so they've moved up to 51 points each. Pardon me. Max Frick has got a 2nd and a 1st, so he's got 5 points, so he's dropped 1 point off them. Still in 3rd position, but with 5 points moves into 43 points up against 51. So he's now down out to 8 points at the moment. And then Sam Masters, unfortunately, he was in 4th position coming into this final round, but unfortunately due to that foot injury he suffered, won't be taking part, and Jack Holden will move into 4th position overall. As while the track watering is going on and the track prep is up from the officials, pulling some mud over to fill up those ruts. Let's go down and have a word in the pits.
Sitting down in the pits with a very disappointed defending Australian champion, Sam Masters. Sam, the foot's just no good after that incident earlier in practice.
No, it's I tried to ride. I thought it would be okay. I put a bit of pressure on it in the pits and on the parade, but I didn't realise how much pressure I really did need when I come into the first corner. So, yeah, it's just sums up my series, really. It's been a bit of a tough run, but chin up.
Well, you head back to Europe in a couple of months to tackle your first season racing exclusively in the British Elite League for Wolverhampton. A bit of a step up in your program.
Yeah, it is. I've done the Elite League the last few years, so it's nothing new, but it is. I'm dropping the Premier League, or Championship they call it now, and focusing on the top leagues in Poland and Sweden. So I've got to train hard for that and get ready for it. It's going to be good, but it's going to be tough, so I'm ready for it.
Well, we've got 2 riders in equal spot at the moment to take over the Australian Championship from you. Who's your money on, Brady Kurtz or Rowan Tungate?
Oh, I don't really know. I've just watched both their heats and they're going pretty fast. It's could come down to gate draw or whoever can handle the pressure, I suppose. It's I've been in that position last year, and when it's going good, it doesn't really matter what happens. You can make it happen. But I think it might come down to the pressure thing and. See who wants it the most.
Don't sit on the fence, Sam. Whether it comes down to pressure or whether it comes down to a one-on-one race, who's your money on?
Oh, I don't really know. I've been mates with Rowan for a long time, so it'd be really nice to see him do it. And Brady's already won one, so it'd be nice for him to share it around. But I'll be happy for them both, whoever wins.
Well, okay, Sam. Best of luck with the recovery of your foot, and all the best from everybody here at NRG TV. Back over to you in the studio, Braxy.
I hope he makes a better decision when it comes to racing lines than it does when he's trying to pick a winner in a horse race or the winner of the 2018 Australian Speedway Championship. It's wonder he hasn't got splinters in both cheeks the way he was bouncing around and trying to dodge the question there from Crumpy. But bit of a disappointment, well, a very disappointing way for the defending champion of the Speedway Championship to dip out. But as he said, it probably sums up his year overall, and he's ready to regroup and head over to the Premier League in England next month in March to take part. And probably the last thing they want to do in March is leave these sunny shores of Australia and head back to the wild and woolly cold of England and Europe where they compete. But that's given Jack Holder a chance to move into third position in the championship, which is being held at the present time by Max Frick from Mansfield in Victoria. So all these top guys do compete in the UK. Rowan Tungate, she's finished fourth 3 times in the Australian Championship. He's a multiple of 5 times Australian dirt track champion, and he also turned his hand at road racing a few years ago, racing in the Super Stock 600cc category in the Australian Championships, but went back to something he enjoys more, and probably a little bit cheaper is the Speedway at the moment. But Tungate and Kurtz on equal points. Was Crumpy joins me back in the studio after that, and as I said when you went off air, Crumpy, I said I hope he makes a decision when it comes to a racing line or picking horses a bit better than he does with trying to pick a winner of the championship.
It's the same as everybody, Braxy. Everybody's, everybody gets on well, and somebody in Sam's position, he probably can't pick a winner because he's mates with both of them.
He better start picking the splinters out, I reckon. But we'll head back down to the pits, and I think Ada Williams has got some words of wisdom from somebody else as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a couple of rounds in the books. However, no points separating. It's still tied for the lead. Brady Kurtz, what a track out there.
It is. It's really nice, and they've done a great job. Practice was a little bit dodgy, but they've sorted it right out for the meeting, and it's enjoyable out there.
Now, we just had a bit of a catch-up off camera. You said it's enjoyable out there. That outside line, it's going to start to form up. Now, we dipped you in around 99 kilometres an hour today in practice on the GoPro. As that outside line starts to form up and we get a bit more moisture in the track, how's it going to form up?
I think it will. Hopefully it can move out more and more. I enjoy riding out there a lot more than on the inside, and I think it'll start to suit me more and more as the night goes on, and so hopefully I can get it wound up and build up some speed.
You're definitely wound up at the moment. Now, tight on points, as we said, there's been nothing between you. You just don't find each other, you and Rowan Tungate, till the 20th heat. Are you focused on that in the championship or just each moto?
Not particularly, I think me and Rowan, we're both going to score a lot of points, and I think it's just every race is important as the next one, and just take it one by one, and hopefully I can just keep putting threes on the card.
We've seen a few riders drop out today. Is there anything in the track that you find the conditions really hard, or is it pretty much perfect?
Not particularly. I think it's really nice. It's probably one of the best I've ever rode around here, and it's a good track, and I'm enjoying it.
We're just starting to get ready for Heat 3. Good luck.
All right, thanks, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will go to a few words from some of our sponsors, but do not get out of your seats because we'll be back in just a few moments' time.
For all your backyard maintenance, the Honda Lawn and Garden range is as powerful as it is reliable. Quick starting, get the 4-stroke advantage. Thanks to advanced 4-stroke technology. Ultra quiet, compact and lightweight equipment that offers industry-leading fuel efficiency with no mixing necessary. That's 4-stroke quality you can rely on. Available at your specialist Honda dealer.
Our business is making dreams come true. Since 2002, we've realised over 100,000 Yamaha dreams and financed more than 150,000 motorcycling passions. We've helped turn the smallest dreams and the largest dreams into reality. Are you ready to make your dream a reality?
Well, welcome back live here to nrgtv.com.au for round 3 of this final round of the 2018 Australian Speedway Solo Championship here at Gillman Park in the southern suburbs of Adelaide, South Australia. And wherever you are watching in your lounge rooms or on your computers or on your smartphones around Australia and around the world, hope you've been enjoying the action that we've been giving you and presenting with you over the last, 8 days. It's been a ton of fun doing it. It's been a sensational road trip. A laugh a minute as we made our way across the countryside of Australia.
It's been tough, though.
It is. It's, yeah.
A bit of travelling.
It is, in a short space of time. And out there in the Twitter sphere, if you want to ask any questions or any comments, remember, it is hashtag 2018 Speedway Oz AUS. So at the moment, as we've split that second round, now we move on to the third round. Kurtz and Tungate, equal points on 51. Second on 43 points is Max Frick. And then in fourth position is Jack Holder with 41. So as we come down now to burst into life for round number 3, we've got Joel Coyne in red. Mason Campton, who'll be looking for a lot better race than he did in the previous race. Sam Masters, who's been replaced by McGuinness, is in white. And then rounding out the field on the outside in yellow is Declan Knowles. And you'd be thinking, Crumpy, that Mason Coote would be really wanting to win this one. He will be filthy on himself if he doesn't. No, taking nothing away from the competitors, but he's one of the guys that does race in the UK, and he's got a pretty good experience.
You just called him Mason Coote.
Oh, Mason Campton. Pardon me, I'm getting excited here in the commentary box myself as well.
No, you're right, Braxy. Mason Campton he actually looked pretty fair in practice, but I don't know, maybe that extra bit of height, maybe the sun was getting in his eyes a lot. Just down in the pits talking with a couple of the guys then after I spoke to Sam, they all said to me that the sun was quite bad, so I think it's actually gone right now.
Yeah, when you look around the back of that circuit there.
You could see a few of the guys struggling.
So Coyne, Campton, McGuinness, Knoll from right to left on your screen. And Campton does get the jump, and he's already punched himself in a lead pretty well, but in second position's at Declan Knowles.
That's a better ride from Declan. He's got himself into second position. Here comes Joel. Joel Coyne's swept around the outside of him.
And that's what was going
on. No, he's
back up the inside.
Having a go.
Knowles.
It's good to see these young fellas having a go with each other, Braxy. It's what they need to be doing to get to learn what's going on. And Braden McGuinness at the back, he's trying to get onto the outside line as well.
Well, it's the 17-year-old's first time in the Australian Championship, so he'll be just absorbing the emotion and the experience as Campton. Oh, big slide there from Coyne. He's put it into the fence, but he's managed to get it back up, which won't bring out the red flag, which helps.
And Braden McGuinness looked like he was challenging Declan Knowles on the outside for second place.
He sure was.
But Mason Campton, he's ridden the boards there. He's ridden the boards. Braden McGuinness for second place. He's got past Declan Knowles on the line there. It'd be great to see a replay of that. That's a wall of death manoeuvre there from Declan Knowles. Braden McGuinness, I apologise.
And Joel Coyne going low side into the fence, but no damage to him and very little to the bike. I suppose, as Crumpy said, a clutch full of dirt as we have a look at a replay of this one.
You see he's starting to wind it up on the outside, Braden McGuinness, but we'll watch Joel Coyne first in the red. This is where he loses it. He picked up a little bit, Braxy, and he's just he's overcorrected there. Slide down into the fence. He's done that too often this series, Joel Coyne.
Is that just trying too hard?
He just got himself into trouble. The trouble started just a bit before the actual incident, but
So move on to heat number 10 of round number 3. Max Frick in red, Brady Kurtz in blue. This could be it will be a good race. Jamin Lidsey in white, and Josh Coyne, the young replacement role.
We just caught the end of the replay there. Braden McGuinness scraping the boards. Watch this again for a bit of commitment, Braxy. Back here. Right at the top of the screen from about now. Look at him. He's way out on the fence. He's riding the wall of death there.
And using that as a bit of a berm to try and keep it on
And it
track.
worked.
It did.
It worked. Great ride. Well done.
Managed to hang on to second position. But as we said, heat number 10, Frick in bib number 12. Then it's Brady Kurtz in bib number 5. Jamin Lidsey in bib number 15 in white. And rounding out the field, Josh Coyne in yellow. So Kurtz will be keen to keep this momentum going and take another win. He won all 5 heats in Mildura and also in Undera.
And they had a great race at Undera, these two. Something interesting before the race starts, Max Frick and Brady Kurtz are riding a lot wider than anybody else. They're both riding a very, very similar line. Not quite as wide as Braden McGuinness, though.
I think he gets the award for the night of the widest line as we jump into the start of heat 10.
And Kurtz has
got the inside
but
at the
he's
moment.
Gone straight to the dirt, and Frick can't quite get there. Who's going to level out? Brady's on the dirt. Frick's on the inside line. It's only going to go one way with that track position, Braxy, the way the track's forming up now. And Jamin Lidsey's having a dig up the inside of Max Frick as well. You can see Max is clearly, he's chasing Brady, and he just can't get quite to where he needs to be because the roost off Brady's bike will be in his face otherwise. But Kurtz is set fair for another win here by the look of things, and Max Frick settled into second place, riding a very, very similar line you can see on the tyre marks there.
But he's making no inroads in the lead that Kurtz has got at the moment.
And Jamin Lidsey in third place. Kurtz is actually out scraping the boards himself there.
And look, is this going to be the way it goes of during the heats? They're going to get wider and wider as they push the dirt out there as well.
As Brady Kurtz takes a checkered flag for another 3 points. Max Frick in second.
Jamin Lidsey in third, and the replacement rider, Josh Coyne, rounding out the field.
Yeah, it's because the nature of the track here, Braxy, you can see the racing line following the fence all the way down to the straight, almost sideways, all the way around. And Rowan Tungate gets to do it again, the first race after Brady Kurtz.
Yeah, so Rowan Tungate in
you
yellow.
You can see what his rival's doing, and he's just got to go out and make sure he keeps himself in the game.
Yeah, they're just sitting up there on the top of the hill looking at that as they ready to come out for their race. So this is heat number 11. Josh Pickering in red, Jordan Stewart in blue, Rob Medson in white, and Rowan Tungate in yellow.
No easy race here for Rowan. He's got the 4-gate, which hasn't produced a whole lot so far tonight.
And saying that, it's but what you were alluding to before about the dirt going out, could that help him in this instance because he's on the outside?
Well, you see the starting grid there, Braxy, the number 4 position. The riders are riding over that every race down the straight. The guys, all 4 riders, almost every race are running over the position where you're starting from 4. So it makes it really tough, and it slickens the run. You know, it slickens the track off right in front of you while you're trying to accelerate at your hardest to the first corner. More noticeable here tonight, actually, than probably anywhere else that we've been this year so far.
So you'd be saying that maybe Tungate won't get the off gate.
I'm not saying he won't make the start. He's a damn good rider, so there's every chance he'll make the start.
He did that in the B final at Mildura the other night.
Certainly did. You wouldn't bet against him. Oh, he jumped a little bit there, Rowan. And he hasn't quite got there, has he?
No, he hasn't.
Josh Pickering and Geordie Stewart are in front of him at the moment. Here comes Rowan. Look at that for a burst of speed.
Oh,
there you go.
Drive. He really threaded the needle then, didn't he? He just went straight through the middle of them.
Here's us saying that you've got to be on the outside part of the track, and Rowan Tungate turned the throttle on up the inside and blew past them as if they'd stopped.
Oh! That was Pickering having a bit of a wild ride there.
Stewart there and Josh Pickering having a good battle for second place behind Rowan Tungate. And Josh got past him, and Geordie's turned back up the inside and got re-past him again.
Yeah,
and Pico's right out on the outside now, and I think he's come back past him.
But
Rowan Tungate could be in a race by himself. He's nearly the length of the straight in front.
Pico looks like he's got the line at the moment. Yes, he has. He's just got Stewart just at stern at the moment. So it is Tungate from yellow takes the win from Pickering in second. Then it was Stewart in third and Medson from the white gate in fourth position. Well, so we're battling through these. Well, not battling through these ones. We're sweeping through these heats because now we're coming down to the final heat of round number 3.
Yeah, fantastic first turn there from Rowan Tungate. We picked it right that the 4-gate was going to be a tough one to get off, and he didn't put himself in a great position on the first turn as far as being in front, but he knew exactly where he wanted to be. He took the exit of turn 2 right on the inside line of the track and just blew past the other boys. So there must be a bit of drive down there on the inside, Braxy, but he did put himself in a good spot there right on the inside line.
Just see how that unfolds during the course of the night. And look how wide, well, I'll just go through the field. Jack Holder on the inside in red. Dennis Cooper Reardon in blue. Matty Gilmore in white. And Jai Etheridge. He's, well, he's right out there, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not right out there. He's pretty high. I think Rowan would have started possibly a little bit wider than him just before. But
you didn't get a view of Rowan's actual attack of that gate, did we, from the camera angle we were looking at?
Yeah. This is a race that Jack Holder's going to look to bank 3 points in for sure, because I don't think he's had a race win so far tonight, Braxy.
No, he hasn't.
And he wants to keep putting pressure onto Max Frick for that 3rd place overall in the championship.
2nd and 3rd in the heat so far, with his 3rd one coming up.
He's made the start there. Jai Etheridge has got himself out of the start off 4, and he's turning back up the inside of Jack Holder, and it looks like Jai Etheridge is ridden up the inside. And Cooper Reardon also, no. Holder's gone straight through the middle of them. And straight through the middle of them. And
right out again. He's going as wide as he can to get to dive into the corners, isn't he?
Absolutely, and that's the thing. The guys, they're gearing their bikes very high, and they're trying to get the bike out onto the fast line. And sometimes when you're off the inside starts, it's difficult to get up there. And Jack Holder showed us that just then. Jai Etheridge rode a great first turn, but since he's got his nose in front, Jack Holder's looking smooth and very fast. Exactly the same as the way he was at Mildura Braxi. You know, he get fresh air, and he's as fast or faster than everyone.
And we were talking about how smooth, and he was using it, well, not maybe as quite as high in practice, but he was using more of the middle of the track as well, wasn't he?
He was, but
just trying to pick up who finished third in that one.
I think that was Cooper Reardon.
Cooper got through because they were pretty close together as they crossed the line, him and Matty Happy Gilmore. So that brings us to a close of, pardon me, round number 3. We'll do a points tally at the moment, but we'll head down to the pits with Aidan, and he's got Rowan Tungate with him for a bit of a quick word. So Aidan's been doing the rounds. He's getting them all to come up for a bit of a chat. Down to you, Aidan.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, another round in the books and another top points for Rowan Tungate. Mate, the points are tight, but what a race out there.
Yeah, it was. That one was a bit tight, but no, I managed to get in front and get away. So it's it's going to be really tight, and just got to work hard and hopefully get some reward out of it.
Now, probably not the best gate. They're probably in that one. We've seen a lot of hole shots from the red and the blue. That one though, you just split the difference down this first straight.
Yeah, when I was over there, I couldn't see much grip in the start, so I took a gamble and it didn't work, and then I made a good first corner. So
I've got to ask you the same question that I asked Brady. It's championship time. We are here at the final round. Are you thinking about each moto, or are you thinking about that 20th heat and more so the A final?
This 20th heat's going to be very important for both of us, and there's going to be a lot of pressure on the both of us. We'll see what happens. Rich Gate's the best in that last heat, but hopefully it turns out that Blue's better. But yeah, we'll just keep plugging away and see what happens.
Obviously that smile's back on your face. Mildura, you know, a couple of days ago, not the round for you. Grin ear to ear now, you feeling confident?
Yeah, Mildura was no smile. So today is smile.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Rowan Tungate, confident and smiling. We'll be back with some more action shortly.
Thanks, Aidan. And Tungate there, he's he's quite a achiever at the moment for the way he's going about it, as well as Brady Kurtz is. They've had 3 wins apiece at the moment. At the end of the third round. So into the sidecars at the moment, and we've got from the blue, and again the blues out in the lead. Mark Mitchell and Dale Knights is leading away from Andy Buchanan and Denny Cox. Got a great start, and in the sidecars it appears that the blue is getting jumping away pretty well at the moment. There's in yellow and red at the back of the field we've got Gates and O'Loughlin and Niche and Spear. But look at the body language from the inside camera angle of these guys, as the sidecar passenger getting right over the back wheel of the tyre, hanging onto the lifeline, I suppose, on the outside of the frame. So that's the end of their third heat over 4 laps, and it was the blue gate of Mitchell and Knights that got the win.
Interesting to speak to Rowan Tungate there. He's thinking about the last race, and rightly so. I think he's underbacking himself a little bit, talking about the gate positions. Of the amount of speed he had in that race to come back up the inside was, he didn't need to start Braxi, did he?
No, well, you've said that even on the practice ones, he might have been foxing a while and just letting people think about it. As you said a couple, even I think you said that at Mildura about it, because at Undera, you'd even said a couple of times, and where we nearly in that first practice heat where he looked very, very uncomfortable, but just to manage to get himself together during the course of the evening. As there we have a look at the leaderboard at the moment, as we can see from bib number 5. Kurtz has got the 3, then you come down the board a bit to see that Tungate has got the 3 wins. Max Frick just there in from bib number 12. He's up to seven points at the moment. And then behind him, Holder is getting there, and he's on 6 points. So the two boys, well, they're fighting out the championship, as you'd expect, with 9 points, 9 perfect points, 3 wins. And, well, we're not going to see an outcome of who's going to get the perfect, or maybe the perfect 5-round win until the last leg, Crumpy, when race number 20, when we've got Kirks and Tungate in the final one before we have the B final and the A final.
Yeah, and if they do both manage to go into race number 20 undefeated, then it will put a bit of importance on that race in the fact that the gate positions and the first pick of choice, first pick of gate position for the final will be important. But a few tweets coming in at the moment. Rowan Tungate keeps smiling. Super Mario. That's one of his nicknames in World Speedway. He's certainly smiling so far tonight, isn't he? And he deserves to be. He's putting a heck of a performance down. And Sam Masters spoke about a bit of pressure and a bit of nerves and all the rest of it. But I think by the time the guys get into this stage of the meeting, they've had a couple of starts each and a couple of race wins. And, you know, they're probably just trying to concentrate on their next race and trying to work out if they want to change anything on their bikes or do anything different to them.
And good, the crowd has packed into the hill here. And the track is being prepped yet again. And, before we get back out again with these machines that are around 500 cc's, the solo machines, with about 75 horsepower, and no gears, and no brakes. And just remember, in the Twitter sphere, hashtag 2018 Speedway Oz. Keep them pouring in, because they're coming thick and fast, and we're just putting a small smattering of the tweets that are coming in from around the world. As here we are on NRG TV, proudly bringing you the coverage live from the 4th round here at Gillman in South Australia. And there's the point standings when they came into this round, with Tungate and Kurtz on 45 points. Both of those guys now, with the 9 points each, they're up to 54 points between the pair of them. Max Frick, who's got 7 points, he's now on 45 points. And Sam Masters out of the championship chase with that injury. Jack Holder, who's got 6 points from these 3 races so far, has moved on to 42 points. So you've got to safely say that the battle has come down to the 2-horse race. It's even Stevens at the moment here as we get ready for the 4th round of the Speedway Championship for 2018. Will Brady Kurtz be able to put his name into the record books once again after taking out the 2016 championship? Or will Rowan Tungate, up there from the Hunter Valley, be able to put his name there after finishing 4th 3 times in the championship in his 6 appearances in the Australian Speedway Championship, when he made his debut in the championship a few years ago, back there in 2012. So he was 5th then, he was 4th in 13 and 14, 6th in 2015, and 4th in 16 and 8th back in 2017. So no doubt the 27-year-old has got a bit of work to do to put his name into the record books, because he's got Brady Kurtz right beside him, who won the championship in 2016. And you can safely say that unless something very untoward's happened, it's going to be between the 21-year-old Kurtz and the 27-year-old Tungate for the championship. Brady Kurtz, like Matty Gilmore, comes from Cowra down there in the southwest of New South Wales. In that, well, almost they're near Young for the cherry-picking capital of Australia. As while the tractor and the Wonder Wheel keep on spinning, let's go down to the pits for a few more words from either Aidan Williams, or is Crumpy going to collar someone?
Well, the Speedway bike's probably going to be about the most simple form of racing motorcycle you're ever going to see. Like all motorcycles, the throttle's here on the right-hand side, open and close quarter turn throttle from fully closed to fully open, quarter turn on the Speedway bike. Not much need to have anything in between that. This little piece of rope here, this is what the rider attaches to their right wrist before the race starts. So if they come detached from the bike, this is hooked up through the electrical system of it. That little plug there will come out, the bike will stop. So when if the rider falls off, the bike doesn't have a mind of its own to carry on anywhere else. We'll move around to the front of a Speedway bike. The front tyre, very, very narrow, 23-inch front rim. The suspension on the front is very, very primitive. It's just a couple of slight rubber bands here with a damper. The cantilever suspension on the front, or leading link style front forks, huge help on a Speedway bike. You don't need a sturdier fork. There's a lot of flex in the front of a Speedway bike, but you don't need anything more than that. Moving over to this side, we have the clutch lever on there, and it's a dry clutch. It's a 7-plate clutch specifically made for a Speedway bike. Unlike most motorcycles, you have 2 chains on a Speedway bike. You have the primary drive and the rear drive. No fuel injection, very small 3-litre fuel tank, carburetor, air filter, no electronics, no ECU for the engine, just a straight ignition coil to the spark plug. No brake on the rear wheel, 19-inch 2.15 rear rim, sprockets on the back, very, very simple, easy to change, 2-sided rear wheel. That's a Speedway bike in about a minute and a half. Back over to you, Brad.
Putting out about 75 horsepower, I do believe. And very difficult to ride. No brakes, no gears. And you've got to be very committed to get these things sideways. As Crumpy has explained to me, if you wanted to ride one for the first time, have plenty of room and plenty of, well, as soon as you shut it off, you get into all sorts of trouble. You've got to keep the power to the ground, and this is what these guys do so well. As now we get ready to move into round number 4, heat number 13 of our 20-heat program here at Gilmore Speedway in Adelaide. And Rowan Tungate, fresh from his win in that final heat of leg number 3, is out there. But we've got Jay Etheridge in red, Max Frick in blue, Rowan Tungate in white, and McGuinness in yellow. Tapes are up. Who gets the jump off the line? Does Tungate do it? No, but from blue, it is Frick that gets good drive at the moment. But is Tungate in the white going to come up the inside? Not quite at the moment. Frick is knowing he's got to get these points to consolidate third position.
And Frick's looking really, really fast out front in this race, Braxy. Tungate doesn't look like he's got anything for him at the moment.
No, and this could be very, very critical in the final points tally as we end up the heats before we get into the final, the A final. But Tungate probably won't be getting too worried. He's just got to maintain that momentum and make sure that he's one of the top 3 riders that guarantee a start in the final.
Absolutely. You can see Max Frick there. This is the best ride we've seen of Max for a little while. He's right out in the dirt. He's going really quickly and riding a perfect line. Rowan Tungate in second, Jai Etheridge in third.
And there's the checkered flag for Max Frick, so he claims another win. So that's 2 wins he's got so far.
Yeah, it's about time Max showed us what he's capable of. He's let Jack Holder in a little bit into that battle for third place, but he'll certainly be feeling a lot better after that run, won't he?
Yeah, very much so. Another little bit of a confidence boost for him.
Yeah, not many riders have beaten Rowan Tungate this series so far, have they?
No, not at all. Not at all. He's almost been another one that's having
especially in that fashion, actually, because Frick was on the throttle there, and you know, we saw in Rowan's previous race, fair enough, he didn't make the start, but he blew past those other guys, you know, quite easily, with all due respect to them.
But didn't get the complete run that time. He had to work for the second place as well, as Frick got there. So come on, Romance. How many nicknames?
Come on, Romance. Romance has got plenty of nicknames. Jake Allen. You just need when you're tweeting, Jake. You just have to remember that somebody might be tweeting about you one day. So be careful, young man.
So in heat number 14, we've got Josh Coyne in red, Jack Holder in blue, Josh Pickering in white, and Declan Knowles in yellow. You'd think that Jack Holder would, with Josh Pickering beside him, anything's possible out of these two side by side in blue and white, respectively.
Well, yeah, but.
And a good jump from Pickering. But it is Holder that gets the gate at the moment. Skies
they've all come up the inside of Josh Pickering on the corner. Josh Coyne and Declan Knowles, and they all got into a bit of trouble just there.
But
Josh Coyne riding a good race in second place. Josh Pickering on the outside trying to find some speed to get through, and it looks like he's going to have a dive up the inside. And there's a heck of an amount of dirt there on the outside, Braxy. We saw Jack Holder then. The bike just lurched forward. He had to plant the bike into the dirt there, and here comes Josh Coyne. He's going to have a go around the out. No, he thought better of it. There's a serious amount of dirt out there on the fence now.
Look at it. It is a mound of it at the moment.
I'm saying on the fence. It's not quite on the fence, but the dirt that's there. Jack Holder didn't come into the corner on the dirt that time.
So the checkered flag comes out for Holder to take another win. So that's 2 wins, I think, we'll do that in a minute when we go through there. Yep, it's 2 wins, a second and a third for the man. And then in second position, it was
Josh Pickering second, and Josh Coyne in third.
Josh Coyne third, and Declan Knowles. So Josh Coyne for, basically the wild card coming into it after the.
He got the call up at the last minute, and Josh Coyne's he's not as young as some of the riders.
Now, just when you were talking about the Speedway bikes before we get onto it, horsepower and weight.
Horsepower is debatable, but it's somewhere around 70, and the weight, by regulation, the bike must weigh 77 kilos.
So it's a pretty even Stevens power to weight ratio.
Yeah, it is. And, they're a light bike. They're a steel tubular frame, single cylinder 500cc, and they must be 500. They cannot be more. 500 plus 00 on the tolerance. 4-valve single overhead cam, short stroke, short conrod.
With offset foot pegs, and as you said to me, that they're like no other motorcycle you've ever ridden before. As we move on to Heat 15 with Mason Campton in red, Rob Medson in blue, Matty Gilmore in white, and Brady Kurtz going for 4 from 4 in yellow. And we saw Tungate get a good run from here.
We did, but we saw Tungate drop a point in the last race. Yeah. So Brady Kurtz actually has the first opportunity for himself to take the lead of the championship.
You beat me to it that way. But anyway, that, as I said, in the inside in red, it's Campton. Next to him, Medson, Gilmore, and Kurtz. Away they go. So what does Kurtz do from the outside?
He's made a start, but he's got to use the dirt.
And from the blue gate, it was Medson that got a good run, but he has used it, hasn't he, Crumpy? He's gone right round them into the lead.
He's used the same line basically all night. He even tried to use it in his first race when there wasn't really any dirt on the outside, and Jai Etheridge challenged him, but look at him out in the dirt. I don't think he'll turn off the dirt for 4 laps. He wants to see how fast he can go. That's what impresses me with Brady Kurtz, Braxy. He attacks every lap of every race he rides in and just tries to get the most out of himself, with Matty Gilmore taking a dive up the inside of Rob Medson there.
Yeah,
Mason Campton's putting himself out a bit wider now as well, because Matthew Gilmore in third place was just about making some ground up on him. But Brady Kurtz way out in front. He did turn off the dirt, and that's a bit of a surprise for me. But 3 more points in the bag. And now the outright leader by 1 point in the championship.
But as you said to me at Mildura, that doesn't matter until you get to the final, Grumpy. I know he's taking the points lead by a solitary point at the moment.
But I bet that makes him feel good.
Oh, it would do. And no doubt. It's that little boost of confidence that needs to get you there at the end. And conversely, on the other side of the coin, Tungate won't be too happy from missing out on that vital point that he needed.
No, well, it just gives Rowan more
incentive.
It gives him more incentive, and he's got to turn that around, and he's got to go out and beat Brady in race number 20 now.
And that's going to
he's got to go out and get one over Brady Kurtz, doesn't he?
Yeah, but it's going to be, well, that might pull them back into line again if...
Here's a crazy one for you. I'm just working things out. We got 2 points difference between first and second in the final.
Right. Yeah.
If Brady Kurtz beats Rowan Tungate in race 20, and then Rowan Tungate beats Brady Kurtz in an A final, we would still be even at the end of the series, and they would probably have to go into a two-man.
Oh, no, would they have
I'm sure they'd go head-to-head in a two-man duel.
Oh, well, I certainly hope so. I don't
imagine that.
I don't want it to be decided like a penalty shootout where you have the final fling.
Imagine that. We're calling for that.
Yeah, exactly. Can we go
And I'm
down
not knocking Rowan Tungate here in any way, shape or form, but if Brady Kurtz wins race 20 and we go into an A final that Rowan Tungate wins.
So now Jordan Stewart in red, Joel Coyne in blue, Cooper Reardon in white, and Jamin Lidsey in yellow.
A bit of movement there from the start. I wouldn't be surprised if the red lights are... No, the red lights aren't thrown.
Oh, who's that bouncing through the corner?
Jordan
that was
Stewart
Joel Coyne too in the yellow.
And here comes...
in the blue.
Here comes Jamin Lidsey on the outside. Has he got the run around Jordan Stewart? Sure looks like it. Geordie went to sleep a bit there. He got himself out into the front and did not hit that line. Left it open for Jamin Lidsey to make the most of it, which he's done. Joel Coyne back in third place and Cooper Reardon at the back.
But in the still the yellow there of Jamin Lidsey, the young guy from Mildura.
Jamin looks really smooth and fast when he gets out in front, doesn't he? He's just one of those guys, he just needs that confidence just to put himself in there. I thought we were going to see that at Curry because the way he bounced out there for the first few heats.
Well, he won the second heat tonight, so he's got that little bit of a confidence boost at the moment. So that was 3 points for Jamin. Then it was 2 for Jordan Stewart from the red. And then Joel Coyne, I do believe, was third, wasn't? He got the solitary point. And Cooper Reardon not having a night that you'd expect. He was...
Well, we made a lot of excuses for Cooper, didn't we, before the first round because of his van problems and so forth. And to be honest, he sprung out, won a race here and there, but he's lacked consistency. And I'm sure he would have probably been hoping for a bit more out of this series, Braxy.
Oh, for sure. And, well, he didn't do too bad. He's had some good results, but at Undera he had a good round. But last week, or 2 nights ago in Mildura, he didn't. He only scored about 4 or 5 points, I think, from memory.
I'm not sure what his points were, but he would have been disappointed with that because Mildura is his home track.
He only scored 5 points in Mildura.
Yeah.
And
he got, what did he get at Curry? He failed to score. He got
Curry. He only got 3 points overall in the five rounds.
Yeah, and I mean that was a disappointing night for him. But as we said at the time, his van caught fire on the way there. They're actually lucky to escape injury and come away with it with his bikes intact.
Exactly.
So you can accept that night from him. But since then he really hasn't. He hasn't really piled the points up anywhere. 9 at Undera was a reasonable effort, but 5 at his home track in Mildura, that he would have expected more.
So now in our 4th heat for the sidecars, we've got Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox in red. Then it's Ryan Gates and Michael O'Loughlin in blue, Damien Nish and Mike Mitchell Spear in white, and Trent Henlin and Darryl Whetstone in yellow. So for the last 2 heats, Bluegate has won it. So we'll see if the blue one can continue. And glad, hopefully, Nick Moore, all those questions were answered for you. And about wanting to know about the specs of the machine. And here we are in a pretty bunny. You can see that not many people are without the jumpers out there in spectator land tonight with that, well, that chill wind that was blowing off the ocean. Very, very unsummer-like conditions here at Adelaide at the moment. The sun's shining and the gates are up and they're off and racing. And it's from the red gate that Buchanan and Cox get the good move, but trying from the blue, but no. And then Gates and O'Loughlin, Nish and Spear in the yellow in 3rd position. Around out the field, Headland and Whetstone. But Whetstone up, Headland up the inside to move into 3rd position. He doesn't. And these sidecars replicating what the where the drive is. It's on the outside, and they're punching more dirt into the fences to make a big mound on the very outside of this 300 metre Gillman Park. Speedway track. And Moll stretching it out from the red gate, Buchanan and Cox. That's a couple of wins that they've had already tonight. So they're the ones in form. And you can see them taking the high line. And look at the roost that's coming out from the rear of these machines. Unlike the solos, they don't really have much of a... well, they do have like a flap at the back of it, but they don't have that really the shroud that the solos do. And plus, having 1,000cc four-cylinder machines, they're punching out a lot more horsepower, which in turn is punching out a lot more dirt. So that brings us to a close of round number 4 here at Gillman for the final round of the 2018 Australian Speedway Championship, with the sidecars being a support act for the night, as where we see on screen at the moment. So taking it out so far, Brady Kurtz, 4 wins from 4 starts, with his main adversary having 3 wins and a second. So now 12 points to 11 for Kurtz and Tungate. Frick will be moving and still maintaining 3rd position with his 2 wins and 2 seconds. So he's got 10 points. So it's 12, 11 and 10. So Frick has got a chance of maybe finishing second on the night. But, mate, it's only early, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls out there, where you are in your lounge rooms and everywhere around the world. And we're in for one brilliant race to finish off this championship. And we have got, a remarkable scenario on our hands at the moment. And we might go to a quick ad break while they do this track prep to get ready for the final round, then the B final, the final of the sidecars, and then the A final to decide the 2018 Australian Speedway champion here at Gillman as the sidecars exit the track. And we'll be back very shortly with more action on nrgtv.com.au.
If you take any given impact and stretch it over more time, you're basically going to reduce the severity of that impact. That's what our ODS technology does within the helmet.
can jump in waterfalls, surf on them waves. You can walk around mountains for days and days. It's a hard old life that someone's gotta do. Oh, there's a lot to like about this view.
Come to life on the Sunshine Coast. Visit sunshinecoast.com.
Well, you go pretty close to calling that the championship round, but how about this guy, true champion on form, Max Frick? Good result in that one.
Yeah, that last heat's good. It's just nice to get a start and get a bit of fresh air as much as I can. So, yeah, so far so good. Dropped a couple of points, but hopefully, as we're going at the minute, we're looking good to try and get into some of the semis or the final.
Now, you talk about the results straight off the line. It is so crucial in Speedway, obviously, to get off the line. Is there a better gate out here? They're looking fairly consistent, riders jumping from everywhere.
Yeah, it depends on a few of the starts, but at the minute, I think the into gate 1 or 2 looks pretty good at the minute from the last, 2 gates that I've had. I haven't seen the outside gates for a few rounds now, so they could be coming into their own as well.
Everything's coming into its own. The track really looks to be coming into its own. Obviously, it's easy to tell from over this side of the fence. What's it like out there on the circuit?
It's been really nice tonight, actually. They've done a great job with the track. It's really good. Considering they had a delay earlier in the day where they couldn't get on the track, we wish James all the best. And, yeah, it's come out really well, and the racing seems to be really good as well.
Good luck out there in the next heat.
Cheers, thanks.
We do indeed wish James all the best. But, ladies and gentlemen, what we'd like to know, where are you watching from around the world, and can you pick this A final? So get on there, hashtag 2018 Speedway Oz. We'd love to know what your thoughts are. Jump on.
Well, thanks, Aidan, and that's right. Get on Twitter and let us know your thoughts about this place here. And the championship, who do you think it's going to be? Is Kurtz going to take it out for the second time, or are we going to see another new name on the plaque for the 2018 champion, or will it be Rowan Tungate? But Crumpy, we've got a pretty good setup at the moment. Kurtz has obviously 4 races. He's got 12 points. Tungate, he's dropped that 1 point on 11. Frick on 10. But in 4th position, we've got 5 riders on 7 points. Etheridge, Pickering, Stewart, Lidsey and Campton.
It's not a surprise, is it? Those boys are, they're all going for it. Obviously, the form riders at the main form riders at the top of the sheet, but the B final, the B main, certainly going to be an important race for them to make and try and get into the big
main
race.
Yep. So at the moment, it is those guys that are going to be making it. Well, at the moment, I'm saying, I must reiterate that, because on the points tally at the moment, there's a bit of a jump to them so far, but and Holder's in there as well.
Holder's got, how many points has Jack Holder got? He's got 9.
9 points.
Jack Holder's got 9. So we've got Kurtz on 12, Tungate 11, Frick on 10 and Kurtz and Holder on 9.
And then the 5 of the quintet of them on 7 points. There's some serious looking faces there at the moment as they are.
Well, I'm still calling for Kurtz to beat Tungate in Heat 20 and then for Tungate to win the A main and force an extra race. How tough a race would that be for those two to go head to head, 4 laps to decide the Australian Championship? That'd be 24 odd races or 23 odd races for each, and then it comes down to a one-on-one duel. That'd be pretty crazy.
That'd be awesome, and hopefully we can. Well, we'll set the scenario for you if we find out officially about how that's going to unfold.
I bet you neither of those two would look forward to that race.
No, we're the only two in the entire stadium and around the world watching on nrgtv.com.au that will be not wanting that. And looking in the background there, one certain Brodie Waters from Mildura with behind Jamin Lidsey.
It's good to see the all disciplines of motorcycling come in and help out mates in different forms of it, Braxy, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. And those guys have got a fair amount of experience themselves.
Brodie's a pretty handy speedway rider, actually.
Yep, he is, isn't
Seen
he?
him ride a few times. I don't think he's doing much anymore, but not too bad on the speedway bike.
Well, he's spinning the spanners a lot too, and also in the earth moving industry, I do believe.
And he's at every ASBK round with his brother Josh.
Well, I think in all honesty, they might have shared that, even though Josh did the work on the bike, Brodie is, a sounding board for him. They're very analytical about how they go about it and work out the strategy for racing. And I think it's the pair of them together. It was no fluke that he won the championship, that's for sure. Josh obviously winning it twice before in the past, but the brotherly love.
Brodie's a former Supersport Australian champion, isn't he?
600cc Supersport champion in the road racing, yep.
Well, talking about the road racing, obviously my son Seth's racing in the 300 Supersport class, and a great mate of mine from Speedway, Mick Poole, is a mechanic and crew chief for Michael Blair.
Yep.
So at the ASBK rounds, I've had a lot of help, and Seth's had a lot of support as well as help from Mick Poole, Matt and Michael Blair. They've been terrific with us. And Josh and Brodie Waters as well have both gone out of their way at different times to help Seth and give us a bit of advice at different times. Helping me out with the bike setup being the most important one, Braxy.
Yeah. Well, it's a learning curve for you as well as it for young fella Seth.
Absolutely is.
But here we go for heat number 17 as we move into the final round, round number 5 of the final round of the 2018 Australian Speedway Championship here at Gillman in the northern suburbs of Adelaide. And, well, the lights are well and truly on now around this pretty impressive looking track. And as Max Frick said, the track is running really well. He said that the track is favouring the inside gates, but that might all change in this 5th round. On the inside in red, we've got Braden McGuinness, a 17-year-old that's taken Sam Masters' place. Then in the blue, we've got Josh Pickering. Then it's Jamin Lidsey that we were talking about from Mildura with Brodie Waters in his corner, and Matty Gilmore from Cowra in yellow, the young 17-year-old.
He struggled a bit tonight, Matty Gilmore. He's shown, like a few of the young fellas, he's shown glimpses of form at different times, Braxy, but...
well, he was impressive in Mildura, wasn't he?
I thought he was more impressive at Undira, but...
well, yeah, he was good there. But anyway, we're back in the round 5 as the tapes are up. Throttles are applied and they're racing. And who gets the jump from the white? It is Etheridge momentarily, but in the blue it's, Lidsey, but it's Pickering in blue.
Pico's trying to get a run up the inside, but Jamin Lidsey's on the outside. Although they've just prepared the track and done some work on it, he's still riding on the high line out wide. Josh Pickering not giving up on the inside challenge, but probably not able to generate enough speed down there.
And Gilmore going to low side there as well.
Yeah, it's probably
not really working.
It's not really going to help him. He's a bit wider now, but Jamin Lidsey looking impressive out front. That's going to do him some favours in the out-up, Braxy. That's going to put him on to 10 points, with a few of the other guys having to face each other in the heats.
Well, he's already had 2 wins as Lidsey. And might be looking that he might have the trio of them beside his name at the moment as we head into the 5th round. So it is Lidsey that takes it in the white. Pardon me. Pickering in blue in 2nd. And then it was Matty Gilmore in 3rd. And young 17-year-old Braden McGuinness in 4th position, the stand-in, who hails from down there in South Australia. You've got the countryside of South Australia. As we belt through them again. And talking about belter, this final couple of races and the B final and the A main are going to be absolute belters. You can bet your bottom dollar on that one as heat 18 comes out. So we've got 2 more 3 more heats, including this one, before we move on to the final leg of the sidecars, and then we get down to the business end of this final round here at Gillman.
That just did Jamin Lidsey a load of favours there by beating Josh Pickering, because he moves clear to 10 points now. Josh Pickering's on 9. Cowra boys from Italy watching. The boys from Cowra are in Italy.
Yep, I believe having a bit of a holiday over there.
We've got a pat in the back. Rowan for the win. I wouldn't argue with that. Team Rowan.
We've got to see this at the moment. Jordan Stewart in red. Then we've got Josh Coyne in blue. Then Jay Etheridge in white, and Mason Campton on the outside in yellow.
I think I'm right to say that we've got 3 7-point riders in this race, Braxy, haven't we?
Yep.
Mason Campton 7.
Etheridge on 7.
Yeah.
And Jordan Stewart on 7.
So this is important again for these guys if they want to Guernsey in the B main.
Well, I'll know all about it. They would have tallied the points up.
Josh
Repeating
Coyne.
from the right-hand side of the screen, we've got Stewart in red, Coyne in blue, and off their race.
Stewart's away from one, but he's locked up on the first turn. Etheridge is through, and here comes Mason Campton on the outside, straight to the dirt. Jordan Stewart's gone to the back, and here comes Mason Campton. He's trying to find a run up the inside of Jai Etheridge. Oh, and Etheridge is down.
Was that an elbow touch there on the back tyre?
I didn't quite see what that was, but it looked like there could have been a bit of contact.
The red flag has come out, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Knocked the wind out of his sails a bit by the look of it.
Maybe he's hurt his leg a bit.
Lip, the ankle.
Here we go again. Mason Campton set his stall out on the outside. He's gone right around 2 of them, and he's on the outside here, generates a lot of speed, decides he'll cut back, and he's driven across the corner here. Slight touch. Slight touch,
mud
I
guard
guess.
on his elbow.
Yeah.
Just have another look if we can slow that down.
If you're honest about it, Etheridge Jai probably wasn't expecting him to come there. There's a slightest touch. That's, yeah, I'm not really 100% sure, but it's the end result is a fall. That you don't want to see that.
No.
Mason Campton's challenged him up the inside, whether he's tipped him or not. There's nothing intentional, and the referee again has got a decision to make because we're not on the first turn, so one of the two has to go. You can't put all four riders back in a situation like that, Braxy. That's not how Speedway works. So,
what would you be thinking? Are you going to make a call on that, or you got your hands in the air and saying let the?
Do you know what? If I said exclude Campton, the referee will go the other way. Yeah. I don't know what to say, but Mason Campton's getting his goggles back on for the restart, and Jai Etheridge is walking off. So I don't know what I'm guessing the referee's put Etheridge out.
Well, that puts a big dent in his.
That takes his opportunity for a B main away, pretty much.
Yeah, well, that's as we said, there was 5 of them with 7 points. We had Kurtz leading from Tungate, Frick all separated by a point each, with Holder in 4th position.
I'll tell you who the winner out of that is at that point is Jordan Stewart, because he made a blinder of a start off gate 1 and rode in the middle of no man's land on the first corner, and went from leading the race into 1 to being last at the end of the first lap.
Yeah, and Campton's coming out, so as you're right, that was the exclusion for Etheridge, which has put a big, as we said, a big dent in his hopes of qualifying for the B main. Well, it's probably negated his entire charge for getting into the B final.
I would say pretty much, Braxy, yeah. And I know exactly where Mason Campton's going to go if he gets the opportunity. He's going to head straight for the dirt again.
Yeah.
Well, it's a tricky situation for the guys off gate 1, because obviously the starting position down there is the best, but they get to the first turn and they're not sure to stay tight or head wide to the dirt.
And where the upside is where it's been at. The starters walk away, the tapes are up, and what does Campton do? Sweeps across the and he's no, he hangs it high, doesn't he?
He's there. Geordie's got to run. No, Mason's just got the momentum on the outside. We'll see if Geordie can pull past him on the inside.
No, but look at
these two are going at it because they know Campton's racing hard there. Not a lot of room left. And Jordan Stewart's just managed to sneak up the inside of him. And here comes Mason back. great corner, but Geordie's
he
turned
runs
back
it wide.
again. He's turned back again. Mason will run a wide line here and see where he goes.
No, he's
He's
kept it a
pulled
bit
it back to
tighter.
the inside.
But they'll get the coming through now up to the start-finish line again.
I think Mason Campton's lost his run there.
Yep.
And that's going to put Geordie Stewart onto 10 points and Campton onto 9 if it stays like this to the end of the race.
Well, they haven't got far to go before the checkered flag will be coming out.
So that's as we said, first place there over the line to Jordan Stewart in the red. Good challenge and a good race from Mason Campton in the yellow there, just faded towards the end. Josh Coyne picking up a point in third place.
So it's all getting now, starting to the cream and it's rising to the top. Well, no, that's a bit unfair on everybody else. It's just been to have a bit of misfortune go them against them. But that's the points tally is starting to sort itself out.
And the winner again, like Jordan Stewart's had a, he's had a win there, hasn't he, Greg? So with a restart.
As we move now into our second last heat. Heat number 19. Minson in red, Frick in blue, Holder in white, and Joel Coyne in yellow. Well, that's from Maryborough up there in Queensland.
Yeah. So Frick's on 10. And Jack Holder's on 9. So again, if Jack Holder beats Frick, then that's...
Well, here we go. I'll start doing a few of the tallies up at the moment. There's 10, as we said, for Lutzi.
Max Frick was really quick in his last ride. He looked, it's probably the best ride I've seen Max have for a while. He looked very relaxed on the bike. And Heath sends us in another beautiful race, Jamin. Great job. It has been a good performance from Jamin tonight. He's lifted his game.
So there's a couple of equal 10 points at the moment, Crumpy, so it is tightening up.
Yeah. And, Simone Boyd says, bring it home, Curtsy.
There's a bit of even Stevens in this. Metzen in red, Frick, Holder, Coyne, and they're off and racing. Who gets the jump? In the blue, it is Frick.
Oh, he has picked up. Oh, Jack Holder had to back off there. And he swung straight back to the inside and cut up the inside of Frick, and Frick's turned back.
What a move there.
And he's driven past Holder, but Holder's staying on the outside on the dirt. Nowhere to go, and he's turned back again. Frick's on the dirt. He's in a turn back. This is a classic,
move.
this race. The dirt's maybe too far out. Braxy now on the outside, and the boys are getting a good run around the middle of the track. Max Frick's trying to head out to see where the dirt is, and Jack Holder's getting a great run up the inside. Here he comes again.
They just swapped back and forth there within a couple of, from one end of the track to the other. That was brilliant racing by both of them, but at the moment it looks like Frick's just got that little bit of a buffer. It was, wow, from Holder, and Holder will look like he was lucky to hang on to it there in that first lap too. He bounced across it.
Well, you could see Frick takes a checkered flag there and Jack Holder into second place, but you could see that Max caught a bit of a rut or a bit of a hole there, or a bit of dirt, and picked up, but I don't think Jackie Holder's too happy with that.
And was that Metzen in third with Joel Coyne in fourth position?
I think it was.
So now we come into the final heat of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, before it gets down to the business part. Brady Kurtz, Rowan Tungate, our two championship rivals, with Declan Knowles and Cooper Reardon.
This is a race, Braxy, this is a race of the meeting so far, I think, isn't it?
Well,
we saw here we see, we can see Frick there's picked up, and he got the bike back under control immediately. But Jack Holder did have to get off the throttle on the exit of turn 2 there. Here we go, Frick's around, picks up, gets off the throttle, gets it down. Jack Holder can see Frick coming out of the corner of his eye. Reactions of a fighter pilot there from Jack Holder. And he swung straight back to the inside and drove up the inside of Max Frick. They overtook each other 4 or 5 times in that race. But here we have the big guns lining up for this important race number 20.
So Frick now moves on to 13 points with Holder on 11. And then we've got the two guys on 10 points, which is Jordan Stewart and Jamin Litzy.
They're straight in. So we've got the A main already sorted out. Braxy, Frick's in, Tungate and Kurtz are in, regardless of what happens here. Jack Holder's going to the B main.
Right, and what a race this is going to be. As we go through, Brady Kurtz in red, Rowan Tungate beside him in blue, Declan Knowles in white, and Cooper Reardon in yellow. You said it might be the race of the night. It might be even the race of the series so far between these two.
Well, let's see what they do. I mean, you know, Brady Kurtz has got that one gate which is working good. Max Frick just made a blinder of the start from the 2 gate.
How much?
Not even so much. It's not even. Sorry, Brexy. It's not even so much what they're going to do from the tapes. It's what the position they're going to put themselves in on the first turn is.
Exactly.
Brady Kurtz and Rowan Tungate are both probably going to want to go for the dirt.
And what part of the track they drive. I'm just saying, where they get positioned before the start of each race, well, the next heat was coming up. With these guys, have they seen much of that from where they were sitting up there just at the top of the pits?
I don't know exactly, but I would think they would have been watching. But here we go for it.
Kurtz, Tungate, Knowles, Reardon. Who's the goal?
Oh, Tungate makes a blinder, but the red flag's been thrown already.
Did he touch the tapes?
I don't know. I want to see a replay of that one right now. He definitely, obviously, jumped it. But whether he actually hit the tape or not, I'm not sure. I don't think he did either, but...
we'll see what happens with the...
Well, you can see he's pretty toey, Braxy.
You've been in this situation before. The nerves.
Sometimes you try and play the referee a bit. An important race like this, the ref might be a bit quicker, but we can see the green light comes on now, and Tungate jumps. Oh,
that's a referee's decision if ever I've seen it. That one. I think he.
Or maybe.
Just see that slight rise of the tape?
Yeah, yep. I actually think he's touched that.
Yep.
Which I hate to say to all Rowan Tungate fans, but you never know. The referee doesn't have the option of looking at these replays in slow motion like we are, Braxy. Remember that?
Yeah.
But whatever the
he
case...
He might get the benefit of the doubt. The gods might be shining on him.
The DRS might help him out in this position. Well, the lack of DRS.
Now,
that front-on view might give us a bit better idea if we can see...
because that's not on the...
But he's very, very lucky that the referee, Gavin Wilson, decided to let the tapes go at that instant. But you can see...
Doesn't he lift off the line as well?
He's back in. Here we go for the restart. He's got away with that one. And away we go.
Start that one.
Brady Kurtz has made the start. And Tungate's cut back. Kurtz has gone straight for the dirt. And he's going to come. Oh, he's lifted, but here he comes up the inside of Rowan.
That's a perfect
But
line.
Rowan will turn back again.
So they've swapped the lead twice in about a... Bit to the fence he goes, but he pulls it back and stays on board, and Kurtz is still attacking.
There's going to be a red mist in Brady Kurtz goggles now. Rowan Tungate's going to have to go here. Brady Kurtz setting sail after him.
Kurtz was hung onto that bike.
He was lucky, and here he comes.
In a threatening position.
Here he comes.
He's got 11.5 to go. And it's still Tungate, but Kurtz trying up the inside. They're side by side as they come across the start-finish line, but it's still Tungate that just gets the lead at the moment. What can Kurtz do? Can he return the favour? And tries round the high side at the moment. Is he going to get the drive onto the final run to the line, but still Tungate.
Another lap of that race there, and Brady Kurtz was going to be coming up the inside of Rowan Tungate. No acknowledgement of each other there, Braxy, at the end of that.
It's battle stations all round at the moment, and that means they finish the heats on equal points.
Yeah, absolutely finished the meeting on equal points.
I think Cooper Reardon was third. I missed that. I think he was third, with Declan Knowles in fourth position. I'm just surmising at that, but the most important thing is for Rowan Tungate that he's got the win and finishes on equal points with Kurtz.
I want to see that. I want to see that again down that straight, because Rowan Tungate left nothing on the table there. Brady Kurtz has swung to the outside, which he was always going to do. Tungate goes through. If Kurtz wouldn't have picked up there, he would have been in a lot better position. But here we go. He's gone in and he's gone a little bit wide, and we can see Rowan riding a tighter line. And he looks over and he looked again. Oh, he knew exactly where his rival was there. Kurtz
crashed and picked it up.
Kurtz saved that. He didn't save that. That's luck.
Yeah, but he'd already gone down, hadn't he? If he'd been another metre inside, he would have already been down.
He was lucky that build-up of dirt was on the fence right there. And for the next 3 laps, Brady Kurtz has chased and chased and chased.
Let's have a look at that momentous moment there. As he, like, for all money, he was gone. And it was only the where he was positioned on the track.
And the fact that he leaned the bike over a long way, Braxy, when he actually hit that lump of dirt, he had the bike towards the ground. He must have been dragging his knee, road racing style there, but didn't he put some effort in for the remainder of the race? Here we go. Oh, his right foot's off the peg and everything.
Yeah. He's bashed that board.
You look at this point here. Rowan actually has a quick glance. As you pointed out, one.
And then another one. It was earlier on.
It was earlier. And right there, Brady's committed.
Elbow and knee touching
and he's
there.
down
Did
there.
Did his hand come off the bars as well?
I don't know.
I reckon
I might head down to the pits and see if we can get a word with him.
I reckon his hand momentarily came off the bars as well. And if we go back further, a little bit further, we'll see that there's Tungate twice.
There we go. Yeah, clearly. So Rowan knew where the rider was. He's looked there, one.
And then another one there.
Yeah. And
runs it. And so what's his hand? Does he lose his hand? And really, I reckon that.
Tell you what, he's going to have a couple of acres.
Yeah. And how he hung onto that machine. He was gone for all money, Crumpy.
He was
gone.
Look,
the front end's tucked on him as well. And then he just got on the gas.
I don't think he let it off.
No, that's true. But it just launched us way out of the dirt. But what a dramatic finish to the heat races of the 2018 Australian Speedway Championship. We're back on screen now, live here on nrgtv.com.au as Crumpy's disappeared out of the box. I don't think I've seen Crumpy move that fast since he won his last World Championship. He's disappeared in a great cloud of dust. But like I said, what a way to finish the heat races. But anyway, on screen at the moment for the sidecars, we've got Buchanan and Cox in white leading the way from Mitchell and Knights. And there's the checkered flag to bring the heat races of the 2018 season to a close. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and anyone in between, we move on to the B final, followed by the sidecar feature race over 4 laps. Then it is all to play for. The Australian Championship comes down to the wire. Both Kurtz and Tungate on equal points here at Gillman Park. Well, Gillman Speedway has come alive. Just doing a tally up with that. I'm just getting my breath back after that one, but Tungate took the win from the blue gate. And then Kurtz second. And it doesn't really matter, unfortunately, for the rest of them who won it, but that means that Kurtz on 14. Tungate on 14. Now let's go down pit side at the moment and see what we come up with. Down to you guys in the paddock.
Well, up there alongside Jason Crump again, and mate, I think I need a seat so I can sit right on the edge of it. How about that for action?
We couldn't have scripted that one better, could we? I mean, it was obvious that Brady Kurtz was going to move out high on the first turn, and Rowan Tungate obviously read that very well. And then Brady got back up the inside of him, and Rowan got back up the inside of him again, and had a couple of sneaky looks over the shoulder to see where he was. But that clash Brady had with the fence down the straight was. I'm still wondering how he managed to stay on the bike, actually. He was very, very lucky. We've watched the replay in there several times, and I think it all came down to the angle. He basically had the bike leaned over further than on the way into the corner, and he used that little windrow of dirt up against the fence to basically to hold him on. But I think pretty much through the whole thing, he had the throttle wide open, which kept a bit of drive going to the rear wheel and keeping him going forward rather than off the throttle and going over the front. But tough race, and Rowan Tungate made his intentions clear, very, very clear there with how much this means to him. And Brady Kurtz rode 3 laps after that. He gathered himself like that, and the red mist came down, and he rode 3 very, very hard laps, and actually probably another lap in the race, and I think Rowan Tungate would have had a death dive up the inside of the corner on his hands to deal with.
I think Tungate was definitely feeling the pressure coming into those final turns. This is my first time around the Speedway. You, of course, been around it for so long. Do they get closer than that?
Sometimes, yes, but that was, that was an instance there that Brady's on the outside with a big run, so he's kind of come from a little way back. Rowan obviously knew, because you can see clearly on the telly that he'd had a couple of sly peeks over his shoulder, but it's you have to be hard. You win nothing if you're not hard, and that was certainly a hard move from Rowan Tungate, and he kind of he rode a good race in front because Kurtz was charging and he still managed to stay in front of him. But I want to go back actually to the first staging of that, and Tungate was a little fortunate to get away, because if you actually watch that start, the replay from the start, as we did again in there, and I don't know if he may have nicked those tapes with that front wheel at the last instant, but he got away with that as well. So serves it up pretty well for us, doesn't it? And all the viewers at home, you know, we're exciting. It comes down to the last race. We've had these big guys have had 5 heats in 3 rounds plus the finals, and we've got even points. So it's all there to play for. And do you know what the crazy thing is, Aidan? Neither of them actually have to win the final to be Australian champion.
So we could see anyone up there. Max Frick, he's also on form tonight. He actually went out there and got the job done over Tungate before. So Max Frick, another one that you have to look at. But as we can say, this is exciting times. I think you'd have to be right there, Rowan Tungate. Very eager to get that clutch off. Knew that he had to get the whole shot, but very, very lucky not to nick that tape.
Yeah, absolutely. Max Frick is actually the rider who's come into his own tonight. The track's Max Frick style, a track at the moment. As much as it's Brady Kurtz style, it's also a Max Frick track. And for my money, Max looks as quick, if not quicker, than both of those guys. He's very much on their pace. And if he actually happens to make the start, and with those 2 guys going at it for the championship, they may forget about Max Frick. And Jack Holder's probably going to be in there if he transfers from the B main as well. So, you know, we just have to see what happens. But it's going to, race number 22 tonight is going to be a cracker, that's for sure.
So we're going to be battling semantics, chopping inches. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned. We're going to go grab a few words from some of our sponsors, but we are set up for an absolute showdown.
For all your backyard maintenance, the Honda Lawn and Garden range is as powerful as it is reliable. Quick starting, get the 4-stroke advantage. Thanks to advanced 4-stroke technology. Ultra quiet, compact and lightweight equipment that offers industry-leading fuel efficiency with no mixing necessary. That's 4-stroke quality you can rely on. Available at your specialist Honda dealer.
How about it for the action out here? We've just got the riders now just coming in, our 1, 2 and 3 that are already locked into the A final, coming in to pick the gates. Now we can see a little bit of discussion going on already. Very, very close to points, obviously tied as we come into this one. So we'll just see if we can get a little bit of the visual of what they're doing here. Of course, they are picking the gates here. This is, of course, your A final. 4 riders still vying for that last spot to get into the A final. We are going to try and jump in there and get a few words from the boys, but obviously very tense times. As we said, this one is tied up right the way into the A final. Our 1 and 2 in the championship are looking to be able to get the job done. But right now, as we sort out the politics of who's going where,
I just went out there and seen it. Like the ruts at the start line, it's just ruining it.
Dave, if you go ask them, they'd be happy.
Why can't they run after us?
so obviously the discussion is at the moment, of course, about the sidecar racing. Discussions that maybe the sidecars can go out after the A final, wanting an even gate and even ruts for all the riders to get off to the start. As we know, this is the final in the Australian Championship. So I might just try and grab him here real quick. Max Frick, what was that discussion about just now?
We're just discussing whether we have a sidecar race before us or whether we put the sidecar race after ours, just because it's a bit of a change at different lines. Obviously, they're running the other way, and their lines are a little bit different to ours in the way that the dirt works, as well as the ruts on the start line on the other side, and that makes a little bit difficult for us. But just what we would prefer. It's not the end of the world, but we definitely prefer if we could go before. But it's up to, obviously, the organisers of the meeting and stuff like that, the way it comes about.
And what has been the official decision there, before or after the sidecars?
I'm not sure yet, but I guess we'll wait and see.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's definitely tense down here. Our 1 and 2 sitting here. Max Frick, probably the fastest man all night. Do not get out of your seats because the B final is about to go live.
Yeah, and it is about to go live.
So the draw for the B, Braxy, we've got Jack Holder from red 1, Jamin Lidsey blue from 2, Jordan Stewart white from 3, and Mason Campton up on gate 4 in yellow.
Just repeat that again, matey, that Holder in red, Lidsey in blue,
Stewart white, Campton yellow, and the tapes fly. Away they go. Jack Holder off one's made a good start.
Oh,
and Mason Campton's cutting. No.
He tried for that line, but didn't put. But it's
did.
Holder at the moment, and in blue, it's Lidsey in second position. Campton round the outside. Sorry, no, it's
Jordan Stewart.
And then
Jordan Stewart's got past Jamin Lidsey for second
but
place.
it doesn't really matter at the moment because Holder's there and he's in the lead at the moment, and he looks like at the moment he'll move into the A final.
And that's a good night's work from Jack Holder. Keeps a bit of pressure on Max Frick for the third place overall.
So in second position, it's still Stewart, but he's holding off Lidsey at the moment, and Campton has just decided, well, it's time to pack up shop with his fourth position. Look at the lead that Holder's got. He got swept into the lead there. There was a bit of a tussle there at the first couple of corners, but he managed to get the ascendancy as he takes the win to move into it.
And that takes him directly into the A main. And that's a good night's work from Jack Holder. He's been there or thereabouts all night. And he backs up the meeting win at Mildura with another start in the A main.
So Holder moves into the final to join Frick, Tungate and Kurtz. And I believe you went down there for a little update to see what you could find out, Crumpy. And there's some very, very tense moments down there. Let's go back down to the pits with Aiden and see what he's got for us.
Final all wrapped up. It's the man Jack Holder, too strong once again. He's going to go into this. Now we're only a few minutes away, Bud. How are you feeling after that one, just quick?
Yeah, it's a big pressure off my shoulders. Yeah, now in the final. You know, it's not too bad because I just seen the track and a few of the other boys haven't. So, yeah, we'll be right.
How is the track? Obviously, you took it out only a couple of nights ago. That confidence still carrying through?
Yeah, of course. You you know, I had a bit of bike trouble for the first couple, but we got it sorted and, yeah, got through the B and now, yeah, just let it all hang out now.
Good luck out there in the final.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, there it was from Jack Holder. Now, we're going to look to see if we can get down to the officials down here, just to our right-hand side, just to find out whether the riders are going to elect to go out to the line, find their rut, pick their rut, pack their rut, and decide out there, or we're tied up on points here if we're going to be drawing at the line. Let's go to one quick commercial break, but we'll be back in a few moments' time with the live draw.
Our business is making dreams come true. Since 2002, we've realised over 100,000 Yamaha dreams and financed more than 150,000 motorcycling passions. We've helped turn the smallest dreams and the largest dreams into reality. Are you ready to make your dream a reality?
Guys, the action does not get a single ounce better than this. The hands, they're starting to shake. The fans are set. I'm set. The television's set. But now the most important thing that is set, we have our solo final draw. Of course, it's going to be Tungate from the far inside. Then we're going to go to, Kurtz from the far inside in the red, Tungate from the blue. We're going to go Frick to the white. And, of course, your B final winner holder, he's going to be starting from that outside. Now, I did get to have a little bit of a talk to Frick before. We're talking about which of the gates has been looking fast. Now, of course, that blue, if you go by statistically, has had more wins out of anything. Jack Holder, however, just grabbed the win from the inside red gate. We are set for an absolute doozy here. We'll chuck back up to Crumpy and Braxy.
And yes, we are set for an absolute belter of a final here at Gillman Speedway in Adelaide, South Australia. And for everybody around Australia in their lounge rooms, and for that matter around the world that we're getting the viewers from in this live streaming on nrgtv.com.au. Crumpy, you couldn't ask for a better shape final. They've come into this on equal points, basically.
Yeah, absolutely, Braxy. It's You couldn't hope for anything better. We've got what we wanted. We've got two battles, I think, on our hands here. We've got the battle for the championship and we've got the battle for third place as well. It all comes down to the last final. So exciting speedway for everybody involved.
Yeah, and I think Frick has still got the ascendancy in third position at the moment over Jack Holder with the point spread at the moment.
Okay. But what would happen with that third place if Holder were to win and Frick was to come in last? Come on, we got to look at it at every angle,
yeah,
Braxy.
We do. Well, it's between whoever wins between Kurtz and Tungate as the champion, basically.
Yeah, so they can finish third and fourth.
Yep.
And the guy who finishes higher up is the champion.
And then it's the battle for third and fourth in the championship. When we came into this at the end of the 5 rounds, Frick had 13 points against Holder's 11. And then going into that, there was a few points in it.
I think there's only a couple of points in it, Braxy, for that position. I think they were 1 point separated, 36 to 30.
38 to 36 when they came into it.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah. So it does, no, so that means there's only a
There's
There's
another
1 point for last, isn't there, in the finals? So.
Yeah, it's 4-3-2-1, isn't it, for the finals?
So the only, but you have to finish the final to get a 1.
Yep.
So, yeah. Well, here we go. Here's a tweet. Wow, Tungate would have done Nikki Pedersen proud there. Artifacts back to 2012. Wow. Racing's racing, isn't it? Yeah. Well, that's a good one, Katie Golden. How the hell did Brady Kurtz stay on? Unbelievable balance. Another way of describing it.
Yep. Thanks.
Look, it was Heat 20. What a race! Yeah, they're giving it everything, and the best man will win. Zane Kelleher, not a bad speedway rider from Rockhampton in Queensland. But it's racing, you know, and
well, that's what the people come to see.
It's what we all expect to see. You know, the room was, you know, the gap might have been there, but it was certainly going to be closing up, and it's the way it goes. Nick Morris. You should be down here, Nick Morris, down to the wire.
I think everybody that's watching this doesn't need much of a seat to sit on at the moment, because we're right on the edge of it at the moment, waiting for this to unfold.
Yeah, and it's great that it's come down to this, isn't it? It shows the commitment the guys have put in for all 4 rounds, for every race they've done. Actually, here's one. Jamie Stouffer, he does... I think he prepares Rowan Tungate's engines while Rowan's in Australia. So there you go. And good call, Jamie.
He was at Curry helping him out with son Max.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the two of them there will be they'll be standing and cheering as well there up at Mulbring there in the Hunter Valley.
Maybe Rowan needs his pit.
Little mascot.
What was it? No, he wasn't his mascot. He was his advisor.
His advisor.
He was an advisor. Max Stouffer was Rowan's advisor at Curry for round 1.
And he said that he wanted to keep coming because he said every time I've been with Rowan, he's won the night. So
well, there you go.
But great to see that everybody is enthralled by how this 2018 Australian Speedway Championship has unfolded. And it's been great to give it to you live streaming here at first for Australian Speedway.
I think they're on the track, Braxy. I think I can hear some bikes firing up in the background.
It's wonder you can't hear the nerves rattling as well at the moment.
These guys have been even in pretty much everything since they got back to Aussie. You know, good performances from both of them at the Speedway Grand Prix. Rowan's been dominant in the meetings he's won, and Brady Kurtz has been on form tonight.
Kurtz on the inside on bib number 5 in red.
Brady Kurtz lines up in the final in red from position 1. Rowan Tungate in blue from position 2. Max Frick in white from position 3. Jack Holder, winner of the B main, from the yellow in position 4. Brady and Rowan have started in the same positions they started in race number 20, Braxy, and it's going to be interesting to see what Brady Kurtz chooses to do on the first turn if he makes a start and gets there, because he clearly went too wide in the last race, but here we go, their line getting into position and getting set for a start now.
Oh, got to get the breath back here. As we said, Kurtz in red, Tungate in blue. The two guys fighting out the championship going into this on equal points. Frick in white and Holder in yellow. So the third position is almost settled, but if Holder wins and Frick doesn't finish, then we've just got the other scenario is whoever wins between Tungate and Kurtz wins the championship.
That's about it.
So it's all to play for. It's come down to this after 4 intense rounds from Curry to Undera, Mildura, and now at Gillman Speedway. The final of the 2018 season is underway, and who gets it? It is Tungate.
And Kurtz
gets a bit wild and juicy out there, and then
here
Holder.
Comes Jack Holder.
What
around the outside.
Tungate in second, and Kurtz is last at the moment.
At the back. He fluffed that start big time, and Jack Holder's taken advantage of the track opening up in front of him, and Rowan Tungate's got 2 laps to go to secure his first national championship win.
So it is looking like Holder. What a move around the outside, the long way round, but he made it work. Tungate in second. Then it is on the white helmet. It is Frick in third with Kurtz in 4th position. What a turn-up. So it's going to be the scene at and pardon me, Holder has a good look behind him to see where the opposition is. Has another look to think, okay, I've got that, I've won it again. 2-round wins for him. Holder, he takes 4 points.
But more importantly, Rowan Tungate secures second place in his first national championship victory.
After finishing fourth 3 times. So then Frick in third position with 2 points and 1 for Kurt. So Tungate wins the championship by 2 points.
4-3.
So what a position there. Holder, though, he got out of that gate on the outside.
He made a pretty fair start, but he just stuck with that outside line. And as he said in the interview with Aidan Williams before, he'd just been out on the track, so he knew what it had thrown up. And Jack Holder just railed that dirt on the outside around turn 1 and came away with the victory. But what a ride by Rowan Tungate to secure the championship.
And Holder putting on the back wheel in victory. And there's his team and crew giving him all the accolades and support. Slaps on the back for Rowan Tungate from Curry. And as we said, the Stofers will be up there. They'll be shouting for joy at Mulbring up there in the Hunter Valley, just outside Cessnock and Curry. And he's on the seat to do a little mono. And one of them that's not doing any monos that we can see at the moment is the red helmet of Brady Kurtz from Cowra. So Tungate, second position, but enough to take out the championship. Kurtz in last position only gets the 1 point. So he gets 15 points for the night. But it is Tungate with those 3 points that gets 17 points on the night. And Holder with 4 will take out 15 points for the night. But look at this replay on NRG TV as Holder swept round the outside to get the lead with Tungate in second position. But Tungate did what he had to do there. He knew he had to look behind him as well to see where his main rival Kurtz was, but Kurtz had no answer. After, as what Crumpy said, he fluffed the start, but take nothing away from Jack Holder, who takes the A final as Tungate gets thrown into the air in celebration. So Kurtz, yeah, it's a 2 point difference for Tungate to take the championship. But it doesn't matter, 1 point, 2 points or 50 points. Tungate is the 2018 Australian Speedway champion, crowned here at Gillman Speedway in Adelaide. As, yep, the winners are grinners at the moment. And there's 2 of them out there, Holder for taking out the A final and Tungate for taking out the championship for 2018 after finishing fourth 3 times. Not only dances onto the podium for his first podium finish, but takes out the championship. Holder winning the round, Tungate winning the championship. Brady Kurtz obviously mega disappointed after not getting off the line the way he wanted to and the way he should have, to give thoughts of taking it to the wire with Tungate, but alas, it wasn't to be. Whoever finished in front of those 2 was going to win it, and it was Tungate to take out the 2018 championship. As we move down now to the boys down there in the middle of it all, let's join Jason Crump and Aidan Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about that for an A final to wrap up this, our 2018 Australian Speedway Championship. The man on all sorts of form to the end of the season, Jack Holder, how's that feel?
Yeah, it's pretty good, but it would be better if I was winning the top one, but you know, it is what it is. You know, the boys were on it, Rowan was on it all the time, and so was BK, just a bit unlucky, but you know, it's the Aussie title, so there's no room to mess up.
Now, you say there is no room to mess up, obviously. Take away the very start of the season here, though. You've won as many A finals as anyone.
Really? Yeah, I know, it's been awesome. Did it the hard way again, going for that B final. You know, the B final is probably harder than the A final because only the winner gets through. So, got to make it happen. And yeah, then you go into the final. You've already been on the track, off the worst gate, you know, and then you just let it all hang out when all the other boys, the pressure's on them. So, but yeah, I'm really stoked to win tonight.
Don't just hang it out, mate. You absolutely smoked them out there like a rocket ship. Now, just before you head back overseas, that's got to carry a lot of confidence finishing up the Australian Championship like this.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, I'm pretty much off now until I have one more meeting, and that's, you know, it's just a bit of fun. So can't wait to do that, and yeah, just chill at home with the family, and yeah, until we go back.
Congratulations. Can't wait to see you back in next year.
Thanks, mate.
Now, we're going to grab the third place man in the championship. Solid ride all day. Out of that white gate, tell us about that final ride.
Yeah, the final ride, I guess I ended up third, so it's not brilliant for me. But no, congrats to Rowan and Brady and also Jack. It's been a long, well, not a long championship, but a good championship. So yeah, it's been good.
Not quite a long championship, but a lot of races in a short period of time.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of travelling, a lot of strain on everyone, I guess, and everyone thanks. You know, huge shout out to everyone that helps to get along through all the rounds, mechanics, family, everyone to help put it all together. It's a big week.
What's next for Max Frick is a big question.
About a week and a half or so, I got to head back overseas. So yeah, we're getting back into some more training and getting ready for the new season.
Congratulations on third place.
Cheers, thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about it from Max Frick? Now I invite in the second place man. Now, it was all pretty much his night, all night tonight. Came down to that A final, mate. Got to be disappointed.
What can I do? You know, congratulations to Rowan. He's a good mate of mine, and yeah, I'm stoked for him that he won. I know the feeling he's having right now, and yeah, I had a good night. I scored a lot of points again, but you know, I threw it away in the early rounds, and some silly mistakes cost me in the end.
Now, it is, we were just saying to Max, obviously, it's such a tight championship. Eight days of racing, but 4 events. You go out there, so many races. To come this close, how does it feel?
Obviously not that good, but you know, I had a good series, and my bikes were working good, and I felt like I was riding good, and you know, I think it's going to set me up good for this season. And yeah, last year I left coming 7th or something like that after being the champion. So yeah, it's been a good series for me.
Same question as Max. What is next for Brady Kurtz? Obviously, that international season coming up.
For the next 2 months, probably not too much. You know, just train a bit in the gym and, you know, get that thing sorted for March, and yeah, hopefully put in a big season.
Congratulations, a great season. Sorry about the result.
No worries, thanks guys. I know all the boys are watching back home, so thanks for coming in, boys.
Shuckers for the boys. There it is from Brady Kurtz. Now we're going to invite in the #1 man in the nation. Well, he's got it done in the final race. There's no final way that you can do it. Rowan Tungate, you're the 2018 champion.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a really good time for me, and it was tough. It was a lot of pressure, but the moment I got wheeled out, I felt really good, and I knew that I had a good feeling. So no, it was really tough. Brady's been awesome all season, all series. So no, it's never going to be easy, but I'm so relieved to do it now. It's all smile.
All smile, all smile. Now, that final result, obviously, it's been coming down to the wire. Mildura wasn't your round. Obviously, Brady had the bad one at our first round. Comes down to the wire, tied on points. What were you feeling as you're setting up on the line?
I just knew I had to win. That's all I've thought about. And once I got in second and got a good line, I just settled for it. I didn't just try anything stupid. But yeah, no, back to Mildura, that was a really tough one. And sometimes it's good when you have a tough one and you get a bit more fire in your belly and makes you go forward. But I'm still disappointed with my effort in Mildura, but tonight I just topped it off big time.
I feel pretty privileged. We have to be the first man to introduce you as the 2018 Australian champion. All smiles?
Yeah, all smiles. Thank you.
There you have it, guys. Well, I'll just get the boys to step on over here to wrap it up. How about it, though? What a great result for Rowan Tungate. Crumpy, step in. Abraxi, step in. Guys, can we just start off with what a championship?
Yeah, absolutely. It came down to the wire, and Rowan rose to the occasion in the most important race of the series and showed his class by doing that, and fully deserves a championship win.
Now, obviously, he rose to the occasion. How about these late charges from Jack Holder, though? Making it through from the B final, he's rose very stellar.
Yeah, he did, absolutely. And, you know, unfortunately for me, I wasn't actually looking at Jack going to the first corner of the final. I was watching the main two protagonists off the inside. But, you know, I think Gate 4, you certainly wouldn't have chosen Gate 4 in a race like that. But Jack found that the two guys on the inside that were racing for the championship were taking care of each other, and all of a sudden the whole track opened up in front of him and he said, thank you very much. So you have to be in the right position to take advantage of that, and Jack certainly was. And he showed you know, in the last 2 rounds especially, and you know, that next year and beyond, he will certainly be in the mix with Tungate, Kurtz, Frick, and a few of the other names that are probably prepared to come back and ride in the Australian Championship.
Obviously, we've mentioned Rowan Tungate and, of course, Jack Holder. Max Frick, though, Brady Kurtz, really solid championships. They've gone through hard the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. Max is coming back off, you know, 3 nasty hits on the head. He's been out of racing since the beginning of October in Europe, I believe. And, you know, it's great to see him back and grow in stature and grow in confidence and get back to looking something like the Max Frick we know on the bike by the end of the meeting tonight, because certainly the first couple of meetings he didn't look like that to me. But, you know, a good foundation for Max to build on before the European season. But, you know, the most disappointed man tonight here is definitely going to be Brady Kurtz, and you can feel for him, but there can only be one winner, and, you know, he's got to go home and learn to deal with the finals better, because the final race in this whole series, round 1 at Curry, he fell off when he was in second. That's 3 points. Round 2, he cleaned Jack Holder up and got excluded at Undira. That was 0 points. The first final he finished was Mildura Friday night. So a couple of points in the final make a lot of difference in the final tally of points. And I think Brady can probably look back and think that the championship could have been lost in a couple of rash moves early on in the series.
Definitely a few rash moves. Now, I've got to go to you, Mark Brax, because obviously Jason Crump has seen many, many Speedway events. You, a bit like myself, must have been on the edge of the seat. What a title hunt.
I actually said that. You didn't need much of a seat to sit on as we went to the final, but it wasn't only that. It was the entire meeting. It was a really good meeting for the finale of the 2018 season, and for that to happen, you know, that final heat, heat number 20, where it really set the scene for a dramatic finish with that clashing, and how that Kurt stayed on that bike. He just used the boards as the berm and just gassed it out of there, and he was fired up afterwards, as you'd understand. I think his left hand even came off the handlebars as he fought to control that bike to get onto it.
His right hand definitely didn't, because he kept the throttle on the whole time.
When in doubt, power out, as they say in the classics, and he did. But, you know, like Crumpy said in the final, we both said it in that final, that he, you know, he fluffed the start, and from then on, but where Holder managed to do it, he wasn't taking any prisoners whatsoever. He wanted to go out with a win after that confidence-building round that he had in Mildura a couple of nights ago. But you know, it shows that there was a lot of talent here. I'm sure there was a couple of guys missed out on it, but hopefully Sam Masters and Davies is okay after what happened there this afternoon. But you know, I'm a two-wheel fan, and to be a part of this has been a real privilege to do it, and especially sitting beside Crumpy, the 3-times world champion, and getting an education. I'm not scared to admit that, but I've learned a lot in a few days, and I'd like to thank everybody that's made me feel welcome at this thing. We've had a great time, and, you know, I can't think of a better way to finish the season as the final we've had, and thanks for everybody, and thanks for everybody out there to watching as we brought the live streaming to you for a big first in Australian Speedway, and I think it's the start of something big.
I think it's definitely the start of something big. And as Mark Brax did say, we're very, very proud with NRG TV to be a part of this. We hope that you have enjoyed all the action as much as we've had our pleasure of bringing all the action to you. For NRG TV, it's only a few months out now until we head over to the MX Nationals. But for one more time, your champion, Rowan Tungate, from all of us here at NRG TV, goodbye and good night.
Sorry, I misread my own writing. Yep, you got 4 trophies there.